If you think you're safe in your own home, think again. Posted by Call Me Ace here to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor explains, this is a video of a random guy walking up to my brother's home in Houston, Texas. The stranger flashed their flashlight through my brother's front door window and camera. The video shows a man possibly casing the place. If that is what he's doing, he isn't taking many precautions, as he's not wearing a mask of any kind to hide his identity, nor does he take any notice at first of the security camera that's caught him red-handed. If he was trying to fly under the radar, he's doing a terrible job at it. Not only does he flash a flashlight directly into the potential target's home, but he looks squarely into the security camera, capturing his headshot straight on, right before shining the flashlight into the camera's face too. Redditor Stark Burrito asks, was he pointing the flashlight into the camera to obscure himself? Bit late, buddy. Other Redditors recommended that the homeowner alert other neighbors to the incident, as well as the neighborhood watch and local authorities. It might prevent the unknown person from taking this further. While you may not have to worry about those you know entering into your home, you should definitely worry about randos. This abandoned house was a favorite haunt for squatters, and now it will soon be the favorite haunt of urban explorers. Published to YouTube by Lomar Mendez in March 2021, Omar and Chelsea dig right into the seriously creepy house, littered with random garbage left behind, graffiti on the walls, and antique gems that look like they've been around for at least a century. Wandering through the house, Omar opens a door, and as he does, listen closely. You can hear a voice whisper, "Look."
Fernando, I haven't really been here in about a year and a half. The very first time we came here, we actually found homeless people stuff upstairs.
A detour into the bathroom brings viewers one of the grossest things seen in this top 10, a pile of discarded hair in the sink. They enter a bedroom, which might explain all the hair, as the room once housed people. Their belongings are still scattered across the floor. Further along, they find scraps of paper with strange noises written on them. They say, "disintegrates with light," and zap the ground. As they're heading upstairs, something falls in the room behind them, pushing them to pick up the pace.
Go. Upstairs.
What's that?
But now they have one problem. There's no way out. They wait around upstairs, but no one approaches, and nothing more is heard. Using an electromagnetic field detector, they sense energy in the home. Though the electricity isn't on, it's a steady current.
Look at that. So there's a spirit in here? Is this your house? Yo, it's steady. Like, for real.
The necrophonic device they use in the basement seems to confirm that energy. When they ask who's in the house with them, a voice says hi, and later, "Sir, hi."
Who is in here with us?
The car, you're hiding.
Are you hiding?
They continue to communicate with the spirits, and an orb appears in the top right corner of the door. Did a spirit just enter?
Was this your home?
They ask the spirits to make a noise for them. It almost sounds like it says ghost.
Can you make a noise for us?
They both start to feel ill and uneasy. As they're getting ready to leave, Omar says he felt like the entire house shook.
I almost thought it almost felt like the house shook. Like the entire house, right there, just shook.
I think they could have done that. That's like demonic.
Not long after, while they're speaking to each other, an orb appears to drift from Chelsea's head.
I don't know, but it's like really eerie quiet now, and like...
Yeah, it's really quiet.
Have the spirits attached to their new hosts? If that's the case, that would truly Mamma Mia. Is this a ghost or just the cold? Posted to the r/Chills Narrator subreddit by Louis D Vlogs X. This scary video was filmed in a cemetery during a live stream. The video shows old tombstones scattered throughout the graveyard. As the camera pans around, that's when you see it.
Yeah.
Like level out. Because it says so, just for the grass to settle.
A semi-transparent figure appears to walk across the screen from right to left. It's so quick that it's difficult to tell what you're looking at. The camera then lands on one of the living crew, and it doesn't seem as though any of them saw this figure in the moment. Some in the comments think it's the cold breath of the crew member that you see moments later, but it certainly looks more solid than a breath in cold air. What do you think? I think some spirits are quite active at this graveyard. This creepy doll has been freaking out this dog for days on end, and since pets are sensitive to paranormal activity, it might be seeing something attached to the doll that's haunted. I mean, you would think that the dog would eventually figure out that the doll, although beyond creepy, is not a threat, but after hours of this behavior, you have to wonder if the doll is possessed by a ghost or something. Plus, just look at the thing. It looks like exactly the type of doll that gets caught moving at night. I can almost see the doll blink on camera, but I think it's just my imagination creeping me out. According to the uploader, they eventually all got creeped out by the doll, but instead of getting rid of it, which is what I would have done, they boxed it up and moved the doll into the basement, which is now no doubt haunted, but better than a haunted living room, I guess. In any event, hopefully the poor scared dog doesn't still sense its paranormal presence and can now get some rest. Welcome to the inner workings of a broken down mental hospital, recorded live to Facebook by Hammy TV. This creepy video takes you on a tour through the extreme ward of Medfield State Hospital, developed over the turn of the 20th century. The 58-building complex held a max of 2,200 patients and was a filming location for such films as Shutter Island and The Box. According to Wikipedia, trespassing between dark and sunrise is strictly forbidden, so these boys aren't exactly following the law. One especially creepy fact about this asylum is that it has 841 grave sites, all of which are numbered instead of named. In fact, Boy Scouts in the area made it their Eagle Scout service project to find the correct names of all buried and their dates of passings. If that wasn't creepy enough, watch what happens during this tour of evil. The crew is heading to the 3rd floor, where there were allegedly a few passings. As they're trying to decide how to get up the very broken stairs, the camera pans the upper floor. Keep your eye on the hallway. A shadow person very clearly crosses the threshold, a shadow that apparently the crew didn't see in reality, as they have no reaction to it whatsoever. I'm sure when they watched this video in playback, they did. I'm not sure if anyone noticed until it was pointed out in the Facebook comments, but now that it's been spotted, I think this paranormal sighting is terrifying. A group of musician friends are jamming out in the woods in Oregon when a tiny creature suddenly attacks one of them in broad daylight.
It's a bat!
The bat hits Derek on his shoulder with a dull thud and all of the instruments stop. Everyone watches in disbelief as the tiny creature climbs up his body, and Derek can even feel its cold snout as it plants its tiny sharp teeth into his neck, just inches away from the jugular vein.
And then it just bit me.
It latched onto his shoulder, then crawled up his neck.
He throws the bat off and watches it fly into a tree, where it continues silently watching them from afar. They are freaked out at this point, but they think that it was just a freak occurrence and decide to play some more music. After the bat makes 2 more swipes at the man, however, his friend has had enough and shoots it with a BB gun. The group takes the bat corpse back to the local health department and has it tested. Sure enough, Derek had been bitten by a rabid bat. He had to get rabies shots for days afterwards. A scary ghost video from other studios has people wondering what's even real anymore. Normally, I'm hesitant about any channel that has studio or production in the name for obvious reasons, but as one person commented, this video looks compelling. This channel says they have a studio in the name because they produce beats, not ghost videos. Okay, valid reason. Let's look. So his friend Cody has been experiencing some weird activity that he thinks could be paranormal. Creepy stuff like the sink running and flickering lights with no one touching the switch. Cody soon got into the habit of recording video whenever he was in the house, just so he could have some evidence to show his friends to prove he's not a liar. This short clip is one of his most terrifying for sure.
Nope.
He comes back to a trashed kitchen after stepping out to talk to his girlfriend on the phone for 15 minutes. Everyone can see the open cabinets and tilted chair, but only Cody noticed the figure peering at him from the very top of a tall doorway at an impossible angle. He says the resolution is higher on the original video, and this is what the still image looks like without the compression from uploading on YouTube. The difference between the two is so major that I'm almost positive this has to be a Photoshop. But if it's real, he should never walk into that room again, or the whole house for that matter. A YouTuber named Stromedy takes a drone above a gigantic field and finds 3 people in long black robes gathered around a small object on the floor, possibly a book or an offering of some kind. Here you can see the square object again, though it's now gray for some reason instead of black like before. They throw it to the ground and begin to circle around it in what could be a second phase of the ritual, probably chanting the whole while too, I would imagine. And I don't know if this is a reflection of the sun or what, but at 13 minutes and 7 seconds, this eerie red light washes over them all. Stromedy loses control over the drone as soon as it is spotted by them. Now you can see they are all wearing white masks. One of the members, the only one with a hood over his head, and possibly the leader, reaches up. The drone obediently flies closer, despite Stromedy holding the opposite direction on the controls. The leader releases control of the drone and hastily picks up the square object. Then they retreat to 3 corners and form a mysterious triangle, backs turned. Should anyone recognize this ritual, please let me know what it all means, because it's got me freaking out. If you're enjoying this compilation, please give it a like and subscribe to Chills Clips, new scary videos every single day. Perhaps the film night at the museum wasn't too far off. This statue, located in England's Manchester Museum, appears to come to life. The ancient Egyptian statue dates back to around 1800 BC, and perhaps is cursed by an ancient Egyptian spell. According to the museum's curator, Campbell Price, one day he noticed the 10-inch statue had turned entirely around. As reported by Manchester Evening News, Price said, I thought it was strange because it is in a case, and I'm the only one who has a key. When Price moved it back to its original position, he found it had moved again the very next day. He decided the next step was to set up a time-lapse video, but the video raised more questions than it answered, as the statue was caught red-handed rotating counterclockwise on its own by increments that wouldn't appear visible to the human eye. This occurs only during the daytime. The statue is still at night. While an Egyptian spell isn't off the table, one British physicist thinks the movement can be explained by something called differential friction. Brian Cox says this friction is caused by the footsteps of museum goers, whose vibration moves the statue during the day. Price, however, calls this into question, as the statue has been housed at the museum since the early 20th century, and it hasn't moved before. It also appears to be turning in a perfect circle and only up to 180 degrees, so that it's facing backward. Even more interesting, on the rear of the statue is an inscription requesting offerings of bread, oxen, and fowl. Perhaps this is the answer. The statue needs to be fed.
This is a huge 10-foot fish. Even the locals don't even know what this is.
This underwater discovery is scary to visitors and locals alike, because never before have they seen such a strange sea creature sighting. It's unknown exactly when this video was taken. Somewhere in Mexico is the best I could find, but I can tell you what this is called. It's an oarfish, and it gets its name because it's roughly as long as a rowing paddle. Everyone is perplexed by what to them is a mysterious encounter. In reality, the oarfish looks twice as aggressive as a shark, but actually poses no harm to you unless you are underwater plankton. Its main diet, strange appearance aside, there's one other reason to be afraid of this fish. According to Japanese folklore, oarfish wash ashore when an earthquake is coming soon. Apparently it's happened so many times in the past that they've even done experiments to see if it's true. They weren't able to prove the myth true, but one lead scientist talked about changes in catfish behavior that have been observed up to 10 days before an earthquake. So if a catfish acts strange before an earthquake, then an oarfish could too, in my opinion. If anyone knows the date and location of this video, then please tell me. That way I could look up any reports of seismic activity after this video was taken to see if the legends are true. Impending earthquake or not, seeing this creature wash ashore on a sunny day and not knowing what it was would be enough to make me grab my luggage and get the heck out of there. That's one freaky fish I'd rather not chance brushing across in the water. Rian Silver is a paranormal explorer who searches every abandoned house that he can find in the hopes that it's haunted by a djinn for him to catch on camera. Most of his videos have absolutely nothing paranormal in them, seemingly an abandoned house with nothing in it, just 20 minutes of creeping around empty room after room. But one of his scariest videos of all is paranormal beyond belief and has left him seriously creeped out ever since. He calls it the real horror house. Here's why. A strange sensation leaves him shaking before he's even cleared the main floor. The real horror house is different from any place he's ever been before. It feels truly haunted.
لا إله إلا الله أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
At 2 minutes and 8 seconds, a pair of glowing eyes stares at them from the window. It's not a cat. 9 seconds later, this creature with glowing eyes is seen outside the doorway. As they are leaving the room, a faint groan is heard behind them.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
As they reach the top of the stairs, they see another shadow figure that dips into the doorway upon their approach. They pursue and the weirdness follows close behind.
लास्ट फ्लोर तक आए हैं. यहाँ पे क्या है? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
A sudden chill gives Rian raised goosebumps. He's showing them to the camera when all of the sudden,
ये देखिए मोंटे खड़े हो गए हाथ के. बिस्मिल्लाह वासने बिस्मिल्लाह तमात में शर मा खलक. वो बस आवाज आई.
bone-chilling laughter now fills the abandoned house. I was thinking maybe it's people playing outside, but who would be playing in the middle of the night by an abandoned house? I think it's coming from inside and very close by. Things get even more creepy when they reach the basement. Down here is where they find a single square opening to a secret hidden holding room with no way out. It looks like somebody might have been kept in this secret room for a long time. Rian doesn't dare climb in, but who knows what they would have discovered if he did. Could something in this creepy room also be the source of whatever's haunting this abandoned building? When they record inside, this freaky EVP is what's caught on camera. A tiny voice screams up at them from within, very faint but unmistakable when you hear it. Is this the final resting place of someone who fell in and can't get out? I think that might be the case. Bonding with nature takes on a whole new meaning when creepy stuff like this happens.
It's extremely rare to see that anywhere. Oh, God.
No, just grab it.
It's eating the
A midday hike turns terrifying when a bat snuggles up in mom's hair. Anderton Explorer caught the entire creature sighting on camera. Now they have to figure out how to get it untangled. Snapping their fingers to scare it off is a good idea, but the bat doesn't seem to care much. It spreads its wings, turns around, and marches towards her face. The mom is getting really scared, and who wouldn't be when a bat is about ready to crawl up next to your ear? They have to save her. Would you be brave enough to do the same?
You hold still. Hey, God.
The bat is off of her, but it stays near all their possessions. It's dazed, not moving at all, and then suddenly it flies up in her daughter's face and almost gets in her hair next. Something almost has to be wrong with it. This isn't normal behavior at all. Think about it. A nocturnal creature sighting in broad daylight is a bad sign. An animal that is normally afraid of humans landing directly on one is even worse. The bat might have had rabies. If so, it was probably trying to get at her, but couldn't find its way through her hair. So with that in mind, this video becomes even scarier when you realize it could have been unknowingly poking for nearly 3 minutes straight at a bat that could potentially have rabies. The whole family was treating it like a joke, when in reality they could have gotten a serious case. In their defense, they do say in the comments that they saw the bat fly back into its cave, though how exactly that makes it any less likely to have rabies or not is something I don't understand. Is this the trail of a ghost? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit, Jen the Heb explains, my dad took a video of a helium balloon floating around the house to scare my kids, but captured something else. The video shows the helium balloon in question drifting in the corner of the room. As it floats there, suddenly a white, unidentifiable object flies forward and another swings past. According to Jen the Heb, her father didn't see the wisp until he watched the video back. Redditor Mr. Blistered Lips writes, if not paranormal, I'd suggest a flash from reflected sunlight off of a car outside hitting the lens, but the Redditor counters that, according to her, the back deck looks over a conservation area where no cars pass. While some viewers still insist it's a reflection, others think something is definitely moving in front of the camera. But is it paranormal? What is your wild guess? Personally, I'm going with the first option. This creepy farmhouse will have you swearing off abandoned buildings for life. Published by DO's Urban Exploration in April of 2013, the uploader admits to being skeptical to the paranormal, but this incident made him consider opening up to the possibility. Da writes that the house sits about a half a kilometer from a road in Bobcage, Ontario. The house is isolated with just a barn and an outcrop of other buildings. It appears from a distance to be tightly boarded up, but a back door was wide open. He writes, now it is very possible all the environmental conditions were perfect for this experience. However, Wingman Jan happened to be with me on this explore, and we are in agreement. There was something more to this. He says the video doesn't really do the reality justice. The sounds were much more magnified, which he describes as like freight trains. He writes, there was the sound of someone else walking. There was the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor. And when exiting, it was like being followed out to the threshold of Inside and Out. Without further ado, let's take a look at the cryptic video. Even the approach to the house's exterior is a bit unnerving. The back door is under an overhanging, which our friends sneak beneath to catch a glimpse of a bunch of knickknacks and garbage littering the ground, including an old sewing machine. The back door is wide open, it's dark inside. They climb the steps to the kitchen area, also disheveled and covered with odds and ends. Once inside, they're stepping over the trash and other items on the floor, while scanning the rooms with a flashlight. They enter the living room. Something on a door across the room flies up. It appears to be blown by a breeze. The door then opens and slams shut, while our brave Da backs away. Instead of racing out of there, they get closer. The door keeps creaking open and slamming shut again. He finally enters the empty hallway. No one is there. He shines the flashlight upstairs, and just when you think he's going to explore that second level, he hurries the heck out of that house. Probably a smart idea. The house alone is unsettling. I can't imagine what being there in person must have felt like. Although Dad knows some might call him a coward for being afraid, he insists that you had to be there to know what it truly felt like. On the contrary, most people believe in the comments of this video that Da was brave to stay in this obviously haunted house as long as he did. I'm one of them. Something in this pizzeria has had enough. Posted to TikTok by Flaming Belladonna 3. This short clip shows what happens when you anger the pizza gods. The clip shows several workers standing around in the kitchen. On a pizza belt to the right, a pizza flipper and a slicer are sitting on the top belt. As the girls chat, the slicer suddenly shoots off the shelf and knocks one of them in the head. How in the world could this happen? Some think the workers angered a ghost by putting pineapple on the pizza. Others, like Jonathan Zwar, suggest that the slicer was on the conveyor and probably was pushing against the metal lip, causing it to be propelled when the tension released. Many in the comments, however, would rather focus on the danger of that slicer. The 509 Grim Knight writes, "That could have easily been in Final Destination. So now that all the facts are in, what do you think? Is this an angry pizza ghost or an angry conveyor belt?" Heads up, it's watching. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Nimrose. Something demonic is peeking out from behind this tree. A woman is walking down a forest path at night in Sweden, but she doesn't notice that she's not alone. Look to the right of the tree. A creepy long-haired demon-like figure peeks out for a split second before hiding itself again. I'm surprised it didn't snatch her when she walked past. Some in the comments are saying it was Krampus, the terrifying horned Christmas demon from European folklore. Others think it's a person in a mask. Still, others are more distracted by the eyes that pop out at the base of the tree at nearly the same time as the demon. Well, that can be explained away as a raccoon or other animal. What about the demon person? Any theories? Ready to explore one of Ohio's most dangerous abandoned places? Neither am I. Let's leave it up to Urbex Dane, who published this urban exploration of Elderwood in August of 2017. According to Dane, this street is one of the most dangerous areas in this half-abandoned city. Willing to take the risk, he entered an empty building on the creepy abandoned Cleveland Street. While inside, a truck pulls up. The truck starts beeping and is playing music loudly. Still, Urbex continues exploring but peers out a second-story window to see who's there. It's not clear what this dude's purpose is. And that strangeness is turned up a notch when a group enters as Dane continues through the home. Unsure of what to do, he waits. Are these just more urban explorers? Or is something more nefarious going on? He creeps out into the hall, which is empty, as is the stairwell, and yet he doesn't leave. Instead, he heads upstairs. Down another stairwell, he hears this. That's where his battery runs out. Don't worry, he survived, but he doesn't know what was going on or who these strangers were. Many are noting in the comments that this could very well have been dangerous, and he was lucky he got out of there alive. This ghost hunter crosses into haunted territory with only his faith and a camera. Caught on tape is a giant unknown creature that does some really scary things. 11 minutes and 28 seconds is when they notice the shine of its eyes.
ये यार ये देख लाइट लग रहा है यार कमरे के अंदर से हाँ ये देख ओफ अल्लाह देखा रिकॉर्ड किया हाँ लाइट लग रहा
Lying on the roof is something much larger than them.
ये अल्लाह ऊपर ये देख आज तक पड़ा ये क्या है यार रहीम हाँ वो मैं मुझे नजर आ रहा देख वाह मुझे नजर आ रहा हो इधर अल्लाह अकबर इधर रिंग इधर
A mysterious figure peeks from the window. Watchful eyes retreat down the roof as they approach.
हाँ दिख रहे अस्तगफिरुल्लाह दिख रहे अल्लाह ऊपर ये देख अस्तगफिरुल्लाह ये क्या है अल्लाह ये देख यार पैरानॉर्मल शोज में पहली दफा दुनिया में यार इस तरह की कोई चीज अस्तगफिरुल्लाह अल्लाहु अकबर
Footsteps turn them around, but nothing's there, and when they turn back, the figure is in the window again, along with the creature above. What is this bizarre thing looking at them from the doorway? And is it paranormal? I think it could be. A British YouTuber named Joe Weller learns from his friend Elliot of a haunted schoolhouse nearby that was built in the 1800s. They agree to go in the middle of the night to make it all the more legitimate and scary. This place is abandoned, and yet there's a black gap where the curtain's been particularly drawn back, just enough for someone to peek through. Or maybe this is a shadow person leaning out. Joe wants to turn around before the sight of barbed wire, but Elliot convinces him to jump over and go inside. Someone must have really wanted to keep people out of here, or maybe it's to keep something contained within. They walk around the back way and ivy is creeping along the walls, so nobody lives here. But wait, someone's at the window, a pale ghost girl. While over a dozen people see her, can you? And when he shines his light on it, it's gone. A YouTuber named Blake Smith's Gaming Blitz lives alone and often hears wearing sobs in his basement. He says that he is way too strapped for cash to afford a Bluetooth speaker and that this is real. Take a listen for yourself. At 57 seconds into the video, the spirit seems to respond to his voice.
Hello? Hello?
He pokes around the corner, and sitting in the far corner of the room is a tiny entity made of light that kind of resembles a small child. I took a screenshot to better illustrate what I'm saying. The shape looks roughly symmetrical, and the head is looking directly at the camera. A YouTuber named Sammy Pena is waiting in the car alone when a total stranger walks up and tries to open all of her doors. I think this is far from an honest mistake, because listen to how hard he pulls on the handle. He was really hoping that someone didn't shut their door all the way. But the real giveaway is how he doesn't even try to unlock the driver's door. He probably knows from experience that this door is almost always locked and not worth bothering with. Between her tinted windows and sunglasses, he seems not to notice anyone's in the back seat at all. He casually walks away empty-handed, at least until someone forgets to lock their doors. Judging from his relatively harmless-looking appearance, you'd never be able to tell that this man is as heartless and cruel as one can be. This 3-hour police confession in Anaheim, California, eventually culminates in his admission of taking the lives of 6 homeless men with a blade in less than a month. What strikes me is his calm, almost timid demeanor. He speaks very evenly, and you'd never expect that he was capable of generating the rage needed to plunge the blade into one person more than 60 times.
Really what you were doing is you were helping clean up the county, clean up the area.
In a way, sir, yes.
What's even more repulsive is his sense of obligation and pride while looking back at what he's done. He thinks he was doing the city a service by dispatching the unwanted. It's obvious that he does not value human life and only judges people based on how they look, with absolutely no sympathy for their potential or what they've been through.
Do you think that what you've done is right or wrong?
Wrong, but it had to be done. They were making the place look bad also.
Okay.
He is still awaiting trial and sentencing. Let me know what you think his sentence should be based on the evidence presented before you. I think he would most likely do it again and should probably be kept away from the public. Salem, Massachusetts is considered to be one of the most haunted places in all of the United States due to its lengthy history of hunting witches and the foul spirits they bring. This ghost sighting was posted on Twitter by none other than the mayor of Salem. Eerie is how she describes it. A ghostly face with a furrowed brow and chiseled nose stares back at the mayor with a stern frown. I don't know if this lamppost is of historical significance, but it definitely seems to have become imbued with a spirit of some sort over the years. I doubt the mayor was doing this for attention, since she is already a high-ranking public official and gets enough of that already. If anything, the fact that she is willing to put her political career on the line by claiming that spirits are real shows how much she believes in what she saw. Meteors keep flying over Japan, and they keep getting weirder each time. This relatively normal one, spotted in February of 2013, looks to be on a downward course until it burns up in the atmosphere at the last second. Then just 1 year later, another one manages to get even closer, this time piercing a cloud. This video is the launching point of one wild ride. Posted to the Ring subreddit, Midship92 explains that his neighbor messaged asking him to check on his wife who was home alone because someone was trying to get inside. After going to check and finding no one, this friendly neighbor went back home, only to find this Ring video footage had been sent to him. The clip shows what the man just missed, a shirtless creep crawling up the front steps of the home, hiding his face away before trying the door in an attempt to break in. The man then lets himself down the steps and walks off. The Redditor adds in the comments, after doing this to several houses and evading police, he was finally caught. Finding the man was quite an ordeal. The Redditor elaborates further, explaining that during the police search, the suspect kept disappearing only to be seen again minutes later, after trying to catch the guy for nearly an hour, only for him to vanish into thin air. The police abandoned the search. Left to his own devices, the man again tried to get in through another neighbor's back door, but the Redditor saw him from his deck. He chased the man into another neighbor's crawl space and stood guard there until the police returned. Thankfully, the wild goose chase led to the wild goose being caught. Something's cooking in this kitchen. Published by Sasha 180683 in December of 2012. A poltergeist is startling this haunted resident. As the resident enters, a curtain that's hung in front of a washer and dryer keeps fluttering. Then a cupboard pushes open on its own, one of its doors thudding against the stove. The door swings closed and open, moving uncannily. The curtain again moves strangely around, and then back to the cupboard door. The cameraman slowly backs out of the room and then moves forward again, getting a closer look at the cupboard door and the curtain. No strings and the window isn't open. He shows the camera that it's 2 a.m. After closing the cupboard again, the door swings open, and the curtain plays around a bit more. What invisible energy powers this kitchen? A poltergeist would be my guess. This is some of the most convincing footage I've seen in a while. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by AMRV_5, this poltergeist activity left this resident with more questions than answers. The Redditor explains that she's been living in this apartment with 2 roommates for months, and they've noticed that nothing seems to stay on the walls, from pictures to posters. Due to the home's age, they thought that a lack of insulation and drafts were causing tape and sticky tack not to stay put. After being gifted some original artwork, they put some framed pictures up on the walls with nails, But the very first night, both of the frames fell from the wall. This happened a couple of nights in a row. One night, one of the pictures started moving slightly, so the Redditor broke out her camera and captured this. The video shows the frame moving, just as they'd witnessed before. It happens several times, and then the rolling chair swivels around. No one is near it. The Redditor pleads, "Can anyone tell me what this is? What's going on here?" Well, some in the comments think there must be fishing line involved. Some are suggesting that perhaps an air vent came on. There is in fact a vent up in the corner of the room. Still, others think it could possibly be a paranormal entity. A second video seems to suggest it's the latter. In the video, the Redditor does a vent test to see if the heating cycle is causing any sort of disturbance to the frame. As she's standing there waiting for the heater to come on, a loud disturbance is heard outside her room. She heads over to investigate and finds a boot thrown on a stair below. As she's looking around, another loud bang is heard from back in her room. When she returns, the frame has fallen from the wall onto her desk. She notes that the air has not come on yet, while Redditors are convinced by the second video. Many are agreeing with then Safety 5971, who writes, "If it's fake, you still got me. What do you think? I can't think of any explanations outside of the paranormal. What presence is roaming around Donna Mary's house?" Published by Chris L. Luna in April of 2022, the ghost hunter captures the spirit blowing onto the scene as a seance is being done. The spirit then directly falls over those present, including the seer. A presence is again sensed in the background, and what is either a window or a mirror, something again passes by a window. As they communicate with the ghost, this appearance is more clearly visible. Do you think this is Donna Mary herself, or is some darker evil present?
Observen, se debe de mover a fuerzas. Solo hay uno allá enfrente. Solo hay uno allá enfrente.
With the increase in home security systems, people are able to capture the most bizarre moments on what would seem to be another ordinary day. User Prometheus6EQUJ5 made a post to the r/paranormal subreddit detailing an incident that happened to him and his daughter on Thanksgiving 2020. The two of them were in the kitchen preparing for dinner late at night when a brief moment drew their attention away from the task. Without explanation, an empty bottle on a counter a few feet behind them inexplicably tips over. No one else was nearby at the time, and no movement was picked up by the camera's recognition software. On closer inspection, the bottle topples over as if it were aggressively pushed or flicked with a finger. Both father and daughter notice it, then pause in contemplation over what happened. In the Reddit post, Prometheus explains this was the first such instance that happened, and neither him nor his wife had any relatives pass away around that time. He has made several edits to update people on the situation, which provides a backstory to the events. He explains the house is over 70 years old with various owners prior to him. He says things got strange after he heard noises coming from the attic and decided to investigate. There he found an old rocking chair made for a toddler, as well as most who had owned it in the past 20 years, and all claimed to have not owned the rocking chair. He says strange occurrences started only after he moved the rocking chair into the storm shelter. There are various incidents of spirits becoming attached to objects. they held dearly to them in life. Often, moving or tossing such objects can cause distress, usually the catalyst for paranormal activity. Considering the size of the chair and the minor events which transpired, it is possible the spirit could be that of a child, harmless and only causing a mild disturbance. However, with what little information we have so far, it is difficult to tell, as a result of the positive response from viewers and the number of views it has garnered. Prometheus is considering live streaming the chair for an entire night. So far, this has not happened, but we certainly hope he does in the hopes of further documenting the strange happenings in his home and whether or not it is related to the chair. You couldn't pay me money to stay in this house. Posted to TikTok by Jen Barari. The TikToker explains that strange things have been happening in her barn-style home. As she's speaking, she hears something, even though she's home alone. She follows the noise. You can hear repeated loud banging coming from the living room. Her cat looks uneasy. When she enters to find no one there, she asks the spirits to stop and leave.
Can you stop?
She then turns to capture her reflection in the television, and it looks like a dark shadow is creeping up behind her. Turning around, there's nothing there. In a later clip, she is showing her viewers the pond outside when a dark shadow passes behind her in the reflection of the window. She walks around the house turning all the lights on, and something starts banging again. She takes this as her cue to leave.
Oh my, it's okay. It's okay. Holy.
In the comments, TikToker Danny writes, "My electricity bill would be so high because I would never turn a single light off in that house ever." Some say this made their skin crawl. Others suggest sage. Still others say this is beyond sage. I say you should avoid finishing this video unless you're truly brave. Daffy of Busan TV is a YouTuber from Ambon, Indonesia, who makes ghost hunting videos in Depok City. One of the scariest, most haunted places he's ever gone exploring was a large abandoned hospital that shut down after too many things went wrong.
Belum lama rumah sakit ini terbengkalai. Astagfirullah. Anjir, serem amat ya.
One of the hospital's final mistakes before getting shut down was letting a nun named Sister Nancy pass away on the ICU floor. Now her angry spirit is watching over this haunted place and not in a loving way.
Assalamualaikum. Well, antara gua halu atau tidak, tapi tadi gua ngeliat seperti ada orang lewat di sini.
As Daffy goes exploring, only the smallest of clues, flashes of light where his camera is not pointing, for example, belie the presence of anything paranormal. A walled-off entrance reveals an even older wing that feels entirely wrong. This place is haunted more than any other part of the hospital. He's sure of it. Soon he finds the ICU room on the second floor, the place where the ghost nun is said to haunt. He knows there's no turning back now.
Tadi gue mendengar sesuatu dari arah sini. Oke, kita langsung aja ke ruang ICU. Suster Neng sih.
He leaves the ICU ward feeling extremely uncomfortable, but without conclusive paranormal evidence, and as he takes a final look around...
Keren, sumpah ini keren. Assalamualaikum.
He hears something moving on wheels one room over. A row of cots remains undisturbed except for one that's been pulled out. I don't know if it was Sister Nancy, but I wouldn't stick around to find out. This video is over half an hour long, and I get every impression that he's truly exploring this abandoned hospital all by himself. A hospital that's every bit as haunted as the rumors say. The Borgwanet House, built in 1876 in Sweden, is said to be one of the most haunted places in the world. Scratching, knocking, and screaming comes from the walls, not to mention shadow figures and objects moved by a ghost. The first reports of paranormal activity were in 1927, and they've continued ever since. Dima Maslenikov wants to document any and all paranormal activity on camera. It does not take long. The house is still when he hears a weird noise. It sounds like an EVP of a distant scream. He gets up and looks in the room. Two knocks, both coming from this door. He sets up a toy for a ghost to play with that also has a motion sensor. Not only does the motion detector fall off, it continues to stay on for a full 3 seconds. When he turns around, something was in the room with him, a paranormal entity. There wasn't anyone in the room. The bear falls over on its own. Next, he finds an infamous old rocking chair that's said to be the center of a lot of paranormal activity. He takes a flash Polaroid and notices a large dark shadow hanging over it, a shadow that does not look like it was cast by the chair because it's in front. He tries to recreate the lighting conditions and is unable to make the same round shadow appear. No matter how many pictures he takes, it never comes close to being like this one. This does seem to indicate that it's a shadow figure caught on camera in the first photo. The investigator summons his courage and goes exploring the second floor of the Borgwanet house. As he's watching the ceiling light moving by itself, a ghost pushes him. Watch for the camera blur as it walks by. That's when he notices a heavy piece of furniture has been pushed in front of a door. Someone was trying to keep something from getting out of its room. He moves the barricade and looks inside. It's an attic space with a small table for someone small to eat at by themselves. The space is empty. Whatever they were trying to keep inside has already left, so the legend spoke of shadow people, screaming and knocking from the walls, and objects moving by themselves. It's hard to believe it, but he really does seem to have encountered all of the creepy stuff in one visit, and it all somehow seems real. Fishing is supposed to be a relaxing pastime. Kick back with your pole and a cold one, and you're set for a pleasant afternoon spent out on the water. But this video, posted on Reddit by Caesar4321, reveals that fishing can sometimes take an unexpected turn. The clip shows a lucky fisherman reeling in his prize catch, a nice little fish which he pulls out onto the banks of the pond in order to remove it from the line. But as he steps closer to his catch, something pops up out of nowhere. Bet you didn't see that coming. Redditor iMoosker commented, "They are fishing in literal croc swamps, like they aren't asking for chomps." Asking for it or not, alligator incidents are on the rise in Florida. Moral of the story? Don't disturb those muddy waters, or your bones may be snapped in half by some seriously powerful jaws. What should you do when the Ouija board answers you? Published to the r/ghosts subreddit, Nepa Smash asks viewers their thoughts on this scary video, which was filmed during a Ouija board session in a haunted room of their home. In the clip, the group asks if any spirits would like to communicate. After a moment, there is an alarming bang off screen.
Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us?
Two of the boys look up. Right before the bang, however, another mysterious action unfolds, but it's hard to see if you don't know it's there. A paintbrush is thrown across the room. Although it's difficult to tell in the video, this Imgur photo shows the incident in more detail. Many in the thread think a non-supernatural explanation might be that the guy laying on the floor off to the right could have played a trick on the others somehow, but some note that he doesn't even seem to react. As for the knock, well, the combination of the knock and the projectile does seem uncanny. Setting the rest aside, Redditor Eekecum draws the right conclusion. Please tell me you closed out of the Ouija board after that. Who knows what might have happened if they didn't? Mustafa Sven is one of the very few brave paranormal exploration channels from Iraq, and he is definitely one of the best. Let's check out a 24-hour challenge he took at a scary haunted abandoned house that he's always been afraid to go exploring. It isn't long until paranormal entities come wailing for him, and all of the creepiness is caught on video with 2 different cameras. It starts with little things that are quite weird, like a shadow moving strangely in the hall behind him. I mean, yeah, I guess it could just be his hand, but the shadow doesn't exactly follow his movements, and I don't know, the angles just don't match up. Then, shortly after the spooky shadow passes by, more weird things are caught on camera. The backpack is actually very well balanced and should not tip over, and it bothers him that it does. He tries to recreate the situation and cannot. Scary noises aside, the backpack is far from the only objects caught on camera moving by itself on this haunted night. A stone silently dislodges from the mantelpiece and crashes to the ground, followed by another one. The poltergeist is pulling this house apart brick by brick, willing to do whatever it takes to scare this ghost hunter away. A padlock bounces on its own like a ghost is trying to open the door. Watch closely and tell me if you think this is a poltergeist or someone on the other end of the door poking through the crack with a stick. But just when I was beginning to think this video might not be paranormal, it becomes one of the creepiest videos I've seen in a long time. A rising wail of spirits closing in makes him realize this 24-hour challenge needs to be cut about 20 hours short, and so he finally leaves. A YouTube channel called Rick Now TV posted this while traveling across the European countryside. He is recording a dreary meadow from a train when he spots an oversized figure standing at a distance in the fog. The fog creature looks like a silhouette and is gone within the short time it takes him to zoom in and refocus, but in the instant it's there. You can see that it is about the same height as a nearby tree and large well. Rick Now TV suspects that this is a ghost, but perhaps it's further evidence of Slenderman. The elusive, tall, and dark creature, who is said to be able to change its shape, size, and appearance at will. The CCTV was taken at an office building at around 2:30 in the morning. It was noticed immediately by security because the camera only turns on when something moves. A shadowy mass starts at floor level, stops for a second, and then quickly scales up the wall, possibly continuing on to move through the ceiling itself, all while leaving no visible form of entry or making a sound. I don't know what object would have made this strange oval shadow take shape, and neither do the security guards. I think there's a strong chance that this is paranormal, but if not, leave me your best guess as to what this possibly could have been. A Redditor named Danny3LG are making a funny video when they accidentally capture a morose visitor in the process. Something taller than the entertainment center looks out and ducks from view. In the split second, I see the top of its head, along with a pale brow and two solid black eyes. If not a ghost, what else could this be? A YouTuber named Nadeshot is talking about all of the haunted happenings at his apartment when this weird anomaly appears over his shoulder at 6 minutes in.
I'm not sure if you guys have ever experienced anything like this. I want you to tweet me and put in some comments any story that you guys have.
I was thinking it could just be the way light's coming in from his blinds, but apparently Nadeshot's house has been haunted by strange lights practically forever. Look at what happens when he leaves the camera on during a ghost hunt 4 years prior. First, it falls off its tripod without making hardly so much as a sound. And then the sweeper falls over. Followed by flashes of light that last for about the same length of time as the anomaly from the video before. When you're babysitting, sometimes you feel like someone may be in the house watching you. This TikTok video will have you double checking that all your doors are locked. The dude in the video, TikTok handle Tanner J. Shelton, claims that he just put the kids that he's babysitting down for the night when he heard laughter. It was 10:30 p.m. At first he was annoyed, as it was the third time he had to tell the kids to get to bed, as the noises were coming from the baby's room. He assumed the other kids had woken up to check on their sister, so he checked the baby monitor and he saw this. What is that in the top left corner? Looks like a hand reaching in the baby's crib. Redditor MXGIWiz writes on Reddit, after this video, the infant was kidnapped apparently. His caption was, "I'm never babysitting again." Though I think it would be on the news if that happened, and this man would certainly be a suspect. But that doesn't stop people from hypothesizing. Redditor MMocker98 adds some intrigue to this story, recounting that there's an even stranger video on this guy's YouTube channel. Mocker writes, "I believe the one with the woman, video number 5 I think, could possibly be fake, but what if it's not? What if this is all real? It's giving me this weird gut feeling, and I can't find too much information. You know what they say, always trust your gut. What is your gut telling you about this one?" Buckle your seatbelts. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This video is apparently forbidden in most countries, and it's clear why. The footage shows two lit up objects in the sky. They're both moving slightly, with one of them moving a bit faster than the other and in different directions. The lights blink as the unidentified flying device on the bottom moves up towards the one above it. Suddenly they fuse and it sends a shockwave through the sky like a bolt of lightning. What in the heck just happened here?
The telescope got the box down.
The uploader stumbled across the freaky forbidden video in the summer of 2018. Some think it's most likely a clip from an indie movie. Redditor The Lovely Raven 313 points out, If this actually happened, the media would be on it. Many agree with this sentiment, while some are willing to suspend their disbelief when asked what it is. The Redditor admits he doesn't know. That's why I'm posting this, to try and solve the mystery, he writes. Can you solve the mystery? I'm at a loss here. There's nothing more disturbing than the sound of an unexpected and unknown siren. What could possibly be impending? A tornado tearing through the town? What are we being warned about? Posted by Epic Memer Boy 0123 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. The uploader writes that he started to hear sirens randomly midday. In the clip, the sirens sound quite high-pitched, almost like a car horn beeping long and restlessly. Several in the comments suggest it's a test siren of some kind, either for tornado warnings or other emergencies. The Redditor clarifies that it lasted for around 10 to 15 minutes. Superman Connor writes, that definitely sounds too long to be a tornado siren then. When the Redditor mentions that a friend said it was an air raid siren, Superman responds those only last about 30 seconds. It seems the Redditor isn't the only one suffering from unknown siren syndrome. The Wastelander 96 writes, something similar happened near here a couple nights ago when the sirens just went off for like 10 to 15 minutes and then just stopped. Perhaps it is an emergency siren that they are testing, but for a different kind of emergency. Wonder what that could be. A strange and mysterious object is found in the woods by a YouTuber named Grant and has his whole group of friends startled by what's inside. Wrapped in tape and caught in the bushes is a creepy red color, faded from being out here so long. They pull at the tape and 3 minutes later, they are finally ready to reveal the revolting contents inside.
Hold on, open it up for a minute. I gotta record it.
Look it in there. What is that? What is it? What is it?
I don't know.
Gray floating chunks rise to the top of the gelatinous pile, an unknown mystery sludge that blows them back with a rotten stench on a windless day. They run away from it more than once. Things get weirder as a frightening conclusion creeps over them.
Hey, there's like somebody's body. Look like somebody's body.
I don't know. I'm holding my breath every time I go over there.
Okay, it's kind of sketchy, bro. Like it was duct tape.
I'm calling 911.
Don't call the emergency one.
Someone is leaving this weird thing in the forest, one of the scariest finds of their life, and whoever it is has a lot of duct tape. There is a lake nearby, so I hope it's a fishing cooler full of improperly disposed bait, and not what they fear it is. We never get an answer to this unexplained video, so tell me what you think this mystery substance was that made them call 911. A man believes the stairwell in his apartment is haunted by a creature that's not paranormal, but not human. He thinks he sees movement and says this is a still image. The image has gone viral, so I wanted to analyze the video.
What is that?
The video does not look nearly as convincing as the image, which is often the case because it is harder to animate than Photoshop. The figure shows a convincing lack of realistic movement as it dips back into the darkened doorway from where it came. So if you've ever seen this popular picture and were wondering what the accompanying video looked like, now you know. Salmon is supposed to be good for you, but this piece has something extra inside of it that definitely isn't.
Maybe they'll give me a discount on that one.
As he captures the creature on video, 25 seconds is when the worm finds a soft spot and plunges back inside. This video is especially terrifying when you realize this is not abnormal, nor is it the store's fault. Most salmon is infected with these worms, and improper cooking could introduce a live one into your system. So remember, worms wiggling in your food is a common occurrence that is occasionally caught on tape, and don't forget that you're still eating crunchy ones even when properly cooked. I think they should put a label about it on the packaging because most people probably don't know about this slimy little problem and could have eaten them them already, including me and you. While using the Randonautica app, Sunny Deeds and CJ Faison were driven into one of the most haunted forests in America. Even before setting out on their journey, they hear something in the woods.
Sonny, I'm not kidding you, we had a 20-mile drive to one day.
Go. They quickly head out and arrive at their destination.
Alright, so so there's supposed to be something here associated with, what is it? Mysterious
information.
Again, something is nearby.
Conspiracy, on what actually, is believed to
was that?
Is it stalking them? It sure seems like it. Soon they find a note on the ground. And it says, let's see if they are.
What are the odds of that?
And moments later,
That white noise.
their fun soon turns to terror.
What the was that?
Dude, that was a bat.
Was it a bat?
It literally just buzzed right by your guy's head. I hope
Damn.
you ever caught that.
Although the latest mystery may be solved, I'm still wondering if Sunny and CJ have a stalker who remains unseen. A YouTuber named Godiva calls this a bizarre sighting caught on camera, and he's definitely right. The slow-moving shadow figure grows larger as it extends over this house. It's all caught on their home CCTV system, and it's a creepy moment for sure, but tell me if it's a formless shadow person or some sort of insect. A man on a train awakes to find someone staring at him in a weird way, a ghost in the window to be precise. The pale figure doesn't move, supposedly locking eyes with the passenger, who at this point is beyond creeped out, feels watched, and thinks this is some scary stuff to wake up to. When zoomed in, it could be the reflection of something inanimate, though of what I'm not so sure. Whatever it is, the transparent outline of a face is still visible nonetheless. If you still can't see it, look on the right side of the window and you'll see a weird face with a long, narrow nose and all black eyes pressed against the glass. I assume the person who caught this on camera takes this train often and has never seen anything like this before. So what could this strange sighting be? When you're searching for ghosts, beware, you might just find one. Posted by DNA TV in September of 2019, this video is not for the faint of heart. The description reads, Lexi returns with Dave to one of the most haunted and active locations we have ever visited. From the moment we arrived, things kicked off and didn't stop till we left. To this day, this is some of the most intense paranormal activity we have ever encountered. The gripping 25-minute video keeps you on the edge of your seat as the pair explore the abandoned site. They note that the place has been slashed up and destroyed since they last visited. At the end of the video, they hear some noises that cause them to freeze in place. They decide to go and have a look. Throughout the video, some in the comments note hearing voices of disembodied entities. At one point, they hear a footstep. Using an EVP, they ask the ghost if that was him walking next to Lexi. They get a yes from the ghost.
If that was you, can you say yes? Alright.
If you want to walk and talk with ghosts, this haunted site is a good place to start. So many YouTube videos, so little time. Many videos published to YouTube never even see the light of day. Posted in September of 2019, this creepy little video was discovered on the French website PetitTube. For those who don't know what PetitTube is, it randomly lands on YouTube videos with low viewership. Some have no views at all, others usually under 100 views. The short clip appears like nothing more but a random drive down a dark road at night with a slightly eerie flickering streetlight up ahead. The glow is strobing out, lighting up the trees in the distance with a haunted house effect. The driver turns off his headlights to provide the viewer an even creepier shot of the strobe streetlight. Music plays in the background. A feeling of foreboding creeps in, as it should. Wait until the end of the video. You won't be disappointed. Now that is bizarre. The video of this home was originally published in December of 2013. The uploader explains that he was woken by someone pounding at his door and ringing the doorbell around 1:35 in the morning, setting off his barking dog alarm. He assumes the two guys outside were pleading for help with the intention of entering their home. Luckily, the homeowner's steel front door and his common sense prevented the would-be intruders from taking further action. They eventually left. The whole scenario is terrifying, but a closer look at the security footage that seems to have been captured in the same home 2 years later in February of 2015 turns up something even creepier. A shadow person seems to manifest on the living room wall and is seen walking from the hallway towards the front door. Is it just some sort of visual remnant of the homeowner on the clip, or did a spirit invade his home when he wasn't looking? Considering both of these insanely creepy incidents, I'd have to agree with Redditor, just a touch too much, who writes simply, "Time to move." If you do a seance in a haunted home, expect the spirits to come out to play. Published by Ali H in March of 2022, something is wreaking havoc in this haunted house. After seeing this unexplained mess in their kitchen, this couple was left wondering who is responsible.
I closed the gate. I closed the gate. I closed the gate.
Maybe it's this weeping spirit. Do you hear that? Later, Ali is in another room of the home when a loud thud sounds from the next room. He goes to check it out and finds the spirits have made another tornado of a mess.
Owner.
He tries to communicate with the poltergeist through a spirit box, and as he's recording, the spirit pulls up a chair.
Oh my.
Later, Ali hears someone or something coming up the stairs. Are the spirits gathering round? It certainly seems like it. A strange creature straight out of The Lord of the Rings was caught on camera in the woods. Published by SEOOOSST in April of 2022. The video appears to have been captured at dawn. The cameraman is walking through the woods. As he scans the area, his camera passes over this tree trunk and spots this mysterious creature hidden within. The creature has long pointy ears, big beady eyes, and grayish skin. Frankly, he looks a bit like Gollum. Upon seeing it, the cameraman immediately runs off. Is this a cryptid, a gnome, or is this Gollum looking for his precious? Don't accept help from just anyone. They might not be what you think. YouTuber Scaryfield shares this creepy video which is trending in the Hindi-speaking YouTube community. The video is actually from YouTube channel True Horror Stories POV, and this horror story occurred on a dark road at night. In the beginning, the woman starts having car trouble in a cursed place.
Mati dah pula.
After pulling to the side of the road, a random stranger stops to help her.
Oh, cik. Kereta saya daripada tadi tak tahu asal tak boleh start. Dia termati-mati daripada saya jalan tadi. Tak tahu apa pasal.
Boleh tolong?
The guy checks out a few things, but each time the woman attempts to start her car, it's still having trouble.
Tak ada. Tak boleh. Tak tahulah asal.
The man then tells her that it's not a mechanical problem.
Tapi tadi kereta saya betul-betul mati. Bukan?
Dia ikut ni.
Benda ikut? Benda apa cik?
Cuba tengok dalam kereta sekarang.
Dalam kereta?
But rather that something attached itself to her on the cursed route she took, and maybe he was right.
Cik!
While this is just a reenactment, these incidents are said to be based on true events. Well, if this happened to me in real life, I can't imagine I'd live to tell the tale. This creepy encounter was posted to Reddit by Ghosty Phase. A Ring doorbell camera captured a young woman's stalker. The woman says she was followed home from Walmart, and her stalker showed up on her doorstep. At first, the man appears to be looking for his own keys, but then he fails to find any and peers around the corner of the house. Many are wondering if the creep left something for his victim. Although we can agree that this is beyond creepy and edging into full-on horror, I do think this footage reminds us not to trust anyone. You never know when you could cross paths with someone like this. What happened at the Mount Morris Mystery House in Pennsylvania? The homeowners reached out to Spirit Walk Paranormal after a spirit claimed they'd find human remains on the property, and they did soon find something.
What looks to be a canvas-style material that has deteriorated over time.
Is it a body? Yes, but it's not what you think.
And that still doesn't make any sense.
No.
It had some shark teeth.
You think?
The mystery continues as they use dowsing rods to speak with the spirits.
Do you know that I'm recording you on video right now? Can you point him to Farrah's right? Is there someone else buried in the yard here?
Finally, they asked the spirit to point them in the right direction.
Where should we go? I just want to make a note that only the one rod has moved.
This is almost like a treasure hunt. X marks the spot.
Okay. Well, if that's where Tyler just marked, make an X if that's where it needs to be.
Now it's time to start digging.
Yeah, I went to this because look.
Mm-hmm.
It's glass.
I hit roots.
They get nearer. Although they don't find the bodies they were looking for, they do find something else.
So we just found a hand grip from a revolver. Now it is made of plastic, so it suggests that it is newer.
Do you think it's relevant? Or are there more secrets on this property? YouTuber Donnie Drunkard has been battling a poltergeist in his home for years now. This is one of his strongest pieces of evidence. As he's attempting to communicate with the poltergeist, he feels something touch him.
Kick. I like something touched me.
Later, using a Kinect, he sees an entity dancing around his bathroom. The entity slams his toilet seat down.
Oh.
Watch closely and you'll see the lid fall. Is this poltergeist good or evil? What does he want from Donnie? I think I know. He wants a bit of privacy. This family has been affected by dark magic for years. They believe it's witchcraft because they found unexplained earth crosses and voodoo dolls outside their home. This professional has come to release them from the bad energies. She starts by doing a ritual.
¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? Acá conmigo. ¿Estás bien? No la voltees a ver a ella. Acá conmigo. ¿Estás bien? ¿Quién eres?
And then the ritual intensifies.
¿Quién eres? No, acá. Conmigo. Aquí conmigo. ¿Quién eres? Acá conmigo. Respira. Respira. ¿Estás acá conmigo? ¿Estás en ti?
The victim is then released from the ropes.
Voy a romper tus ataduras. Hoy voy a romper lo que no permite que tú puedas seguir adelante. No, te voy a cortar las ataduras. Te voy a liberar. Respira, te voy a liberar.
The woman then balances what looks like a glass of milk atop the possessed lady's head.
No hay nada que te retenga. Tranquila. Venga, ya, la luz divina te cubre. La luz de la divinidad te cubre. La luz divina te cubre. Esto se me va.
She becomes weaker.
Siéntate. 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 Cuidado. Ahí estás. Ahí estás.
And it truly looks like something is possessing her.
Tranquila. Estamos calmes.
Whatever is haunting her is hurting her.
Scully.
This pair is connected somehow.
Tranquila. Tranquila.
So.
Respire. Respire. Respire.
The woman tries to catch her breath calmly.
Respire. ¿No qué? A ver. Acá, arriba conmigo. Aquí. Respire. Respire. Inhale y exhale. Despacito. Inhale y exhale.
And then they both appear to be released from the spell.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Aide. ¿Cómo estás? Regresa. Regresa, regresa, muñeca, regresa, regresa. Regresa, Aide.
I find this whole ritual intriguing. Not only are the steps involved interesting, but it seems to have worked. But will it last? I guess only time will tell. YouTuber Riot was putting his dogs to bed when he noticed his truck's alarm lights were blinking. The dogs also seemed upset by something. That's when he checked his Ring camera, only to find this. A strange blue object is floating across the yard. The YouTuber says he didn't see it with his own eyes. It then disappears behind a tree. Well, I wanted to dismiss this as a spiderweb at the beginning. It's harder to dismiss when it seems to move away and disappear like this. So what do you think? A spider web or something more cryptic? I think it's too close to call. Paranormal explorer Chris L. Luna has spent many sleepless nights due to paranormal activity in her home in the Dominican Republic. She decided to record her bedroom while sleeping. This is what she captured. Watch the pillow on the bed. Next, the picture moves on the wall. Chriselle wakes up for a bit, maybe sensing something, but then goes back to sleep, and the picture moves again. Chriselle gets up after witnessing it for herself. That's when she sees this mysterious anomaly. And while outside, she captures this face in the window. Has Chriselle unknowingly brought home legions of spirits and demons during her paranormal investigations? That's my theory, and it seems they're determined to never let her sleep again. While investigating this demon house, YouTube team KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas encounters a real-life demon. In the wilderness, they start to get a wild EMF reading. Then they break out a thermal camera and capture this.
Grace. Grace, cuidado, Grace. Oh? De mga tingitos to stop more sa inyo, tol.
And they later captured the devil in their spirit box session.
Oh, diabo. Almost hurt, man. Be scared, kid.
They also take a photo in which something spooky is captured. These are just the grounds of the demon house. I feel that there's definitely something haunting this property, but we'll have to tune into the final episode of the series to find out. A person named Khorn1234 is not sure what to make of this video and would like our help to investigate what could be paranormal lights in the woods at night. It starts off as one tiny red light at 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and soon the entire surrounding forest is lit up by them. Strange flashing lights suspended in midair. He looks the other way and across a field sees more of them. It's not houses and it's not towers. He says, and I agree. They seem to spontaneously appear and disappear without reason. It kind of looks like Christmas lights, except this was taken in the middle of July. So what are they? This scary highway encounter would have easily gone unnoticed forever, if not for a dashcam recording. Pay attention to the bottom right and you'll see a blurry figure slip under the car in a matter of seconds. Pause the video and you'll see the undeniable outline of a girl from the waist up. She appears to be wearing a white dress and staring ahead with a gray face. I guess this could be light reflecting off of the pavement, but this also really does look like the outline of a person who was once living. Maybe every so often they appear in the exact same location where they sadly lost their life years ago. This Ukrainian dashcam captures one of the highest resolution highway ghost encounters I have ever seen. Watch this part and tell me what is being said here if possible. I would really like to have a legitimate translation of this potentially supernatural message. The driver speeds off after she falls back and disappears, and does not stop until they are back to civilization. This professional quality of this video makes me wonder if this is from a European movie or television show. If not, it almost looks like a well-constructed hologram. I could find no other source for this video, so be sure to let me know if this is amateur footage or something from mainstream media. A YouTuber named Crossover likes to play basketball, but we all know that's not why he's on this list. He lives in a house on the edge of some woods that are known to be haunted, at least if you believe what's about to happen to him next. Crossover goes inside of his dad's workshop to talk more about his plans for the channel.
You know, I have had channels in the past, but you know, I kind of scrapped them. They were a little bit weird, and I don't even know what was going on.
And behind him, one of his dad's tools rolls off the shelf. Crossover wonders how the object moves all by itself. Get over here. And a scary voice tells Crossover to come back as soon as he goes off camera. He thinks this is a ghost EVP because he says he was in the workshop alone. However, the voice could have been edited, and someone could have been hiding under the shelf to make the object look like it was pushed by a ghost. Here's even more reason to not build your house too close to the ocean. Posted to Twitter by @Cape Hatteras NPS, an unoccupied house was captured on video collapsing into the sea off Rodenthade, North Carolina in early May of this year. The footage shows the two-story house on stilts, standing precariously near the aggressive waves as the wind whips through. Then its front stilts give way, collapsing the house head first into the sea. It lands flat and is pulled out to sea for a moment by the tide, but the waves quickly push it back in. After a while, it comes to a standstill on the shore, looking shoddy and dilapidated. Reports say that this is the second unoccupied house to collapse on this day at Cape Hatteras. This is not a good day for those homeowners. A parenting channel called The Mommy Wayopedia has thousands of subscribers who are looking for heartwarming family videos. Paranormal content is not what they seek, and I don't think she's playing around when she uploaded a rather realistic ghost sighting video for fans to analyze. So here's the background story on this video. She's been seeing some weird things on CCTV camera for the past week or so, but never had the phone nearby to record and doesn't have a memory card for the camera. So she waited near the CCTV monitor for a couple of days for the paranormal entity to return, and this creepy sighting of a mysterious figure is what she has since caught on camera. The mother tries to keep the fear out of her voice as she tells her son to keep reading a book out loud.
Oh, you read the book, baby. okay?
She doesn't want to scare him. She can't take her eyes off what she sees. Seated on the ground facing the courtyard on the first floor is this exquisitely eerie ghost sighting. A woman with long hair and a gown. She's across from the main entrance waiting for them to come out. The see-through figure does not move, but look closely and at 10 seconds, you'll see this object across from the ghost is moving all by itself, or maybe it's the wind. The mommy Wayopedia has no idea what this ghost wants from her or her family, and is seeking advice on what to do next. I would say this is a camera glitch, but she's been seeing it on different monitors across different places, so it appears to be an actual ghost. With that in mind, the only thing left to do is either confront it or hope it goes away, and I'm not sure if either is going to get her any peace. You might want to bring a shield and armor when this uninvited guest shows up to your family reunion. Published to YouTube by Ghosted UK in November of 2019, a group of people appears to be watching something going on off screen when all of a sudden a poltergeist pops up beside them. Something up on a shelf is sent crashing to the ground. Startled, the group all turns to look and most start laughing.
Your knees, Andrew, for some reason.
It's unclear what the disturbance was and what object was flung, but it seems to have been thrown with some aggression. Would you be laughing if this happened to you? You may remember me talking about D-Menace in a previous video, but I wanted to give this video a further analysis. To describe D-Menace in short terms, the best would probably be Adrenaline Junkie. First appearing on YouTube in 2018, he has posted a variety of videos from conducting one-breath dives to venturing deep into tight caves. His videos are not for the faint of heart and can distress people with the feats he conducts. He has also posted several urban exploration videos. In June 2020, D ventured into an abandoned malt factory complex with several buildings to explore. All alone, he traveled through the dark and derelict halls. For the first half of the video, nothing particularly strange happens. D ventures through the various passages and even into the basement, finding strange and even beautiful graffiti on the walls. As he approaches the stairs to the basement, he feels apprehension as, in his words, the walls and ceiling begin to resemble the altered state of Silent Hill when it transitions to Otherworld.
I think I reached a really dangerous and scary part here because it's starting to feel and look exactly like in Silent Hill.
After some time, he decides to continue down the depths. Here, he finds a red bed or chair, something that gives him the creeps. Written on it in German is, "Raise your legs and chill." He continues to explore the basement, but is in a constant state of discomfort from the darkness, and his mind playing tricks on him. Therefore, he decides to head back upstairs. He then states part of what creeps him out about this place is the lack of wildlife residing in the building. Unlike other places he's explored, he hasn't seen a single bird or rodent since arriving. As he makes his way into the second part of the complex, he begins to feel more anxious, hearing noises around him. He admits he is unaware if it is because he is simply spooked, or if there's another person inside with him. Not long after making this statement, D discovers he is, in fact, not alone in the complex. As he is showing the view out the window, a man suddenly and casually walks out from the trees. Completely oblivious, D sees and is recording him. The man walks calmly to the same building D is in, but D is clearly nervous and says he hopes the man does not have ill intent. He then hears the man speaking, but it is unknown to whom. After, D becomes quiet, listening and acting increasingly anxious. Soon he enters a similar room to where he first saw the man walking up and is startled to see a pair of legs on the other side of a hole in the wall. He quickly quiets down and kneels, but realizes the man must have heard him as the legs retreat in the opposite direction. Realizing the risk of this situation, he decides to try and exit the building. However, as he approaches a corner, the man emerges and pushes D to the ground. After some exchanged words, the two men calm down and discover it was a simple misunderstanding. The other individual, named Jonathan, is just another urban explorer who is also unsure of Dee's intentions. Luckily this time, for both men, neither were there for anything bad, and were just wanting to check the place out. Dee's video is a wake-up call for anyone intending to do their own exploration or even ghost hunts. Abandoned buildings pose all sorts of hazards, mostly from the decaying condition of the structures posing physical hazards. What is often overlooked is the possibilities of others in the building who could potentially be living there or committing unsavory deeds away from prying eyes. Both Dee and Jonathan were justified in their suspicion of each other, and on this occasion were able to laugh it off and even continue to explore the building together. It is likely this made the adventure safe, as the two would now be able to look out for one another in case an accident occurred. It goes as a reminder to how the paranormal is not the only thing to be afraid of on these tours. Dee was definitely thanking his lucky stars he stumbled across Jonathan, as both explorers decided to head into the basement, as Dee felt it was better to have company. Down there, they find spray cans, a piece of a bicycle body, and a package. However, down a deep corridor, Dee finds a bone. While it could be misinterpreted for a human, Jonathan points out it doesn't appear to be. On analysis, it more so resembles one someone would give their dog to chew on. Regardless, Dee decides to leave the bone there. Certainly an adrenaline-inducing adventure this time, and thankfully Dee made a new friend to explore with. Still goes to show how careful one must be about the place they explore, as well as who might be in it. Working car parks aren't the most comfortable places in the light of day, so what happens when you enter an abandoned one in the darkness underground? Published to YouTube by Nellis in August of 2016, this video will make underground car parks seem even more terrifying. Nellis writes, "This is the scariest haunted abandoned place we've ever visited. The car park was in connection to a haunted hotel his crew had visited in Bosnia." He says that this video is even scarier than his two-part series about the hotel. So let's see what's hiding down in this car park. The car park has clearly long been abandoned, overgrown grass at the entrance and rubble inside. As they descend into the pits of creepy, on one wall is a handprint, as though someone smeared something on the wall. It looks like something red. Nellis shines a flashlight into the dark and spots a bag. The crew hears something down in the car park, prompting Nellis to greet the darkness, asking if there's anyone down there to give them a sign.
If there's anyone in here, give us a sign.
A sound is heard, although it's not clear what it could be coming from. He continues to shine his flashlight all along the gap to the car park to see if anything is moving. They hear some more noises, repeated taps.
Wait, did you hear that?
His friend speaks in Bosnian, likely again questioning whether or not anyone is there. On closer inspection of the underground, they spot a door and recently eaten food. They continue down to the bottom of the incline and throw stuff at the bag they'd seen earlier. While looking deeper into the car park, they don't open the bag, but Nellis says it appeared like someone was sleeping down here or otherwise staying here, as though they found food canisters and towels. As they again hear something in the darkness, they decide it's time to move it on out of there. Nellis says it sounds like something scraping the floor.
Oh my god, I heard something, I heard something coming.
Whether human, animal, or something supernatural, leaving this place with only one way out was probably the best course of action. You know when you're nonchalantly taking video, panning across the room, and this happens? This short clip posted to YouTube by Baku DD is not meant to be a jump scare, but it'll have you jumping scared anyway. As the woman films her apartment with a blurry camera, she pans around to a hallway that appears to be filled with sunlight, perhaps by a window backlighting the area, and there stands a tall, looming figure that apparently shouldn't be there at all, judging by the woman's frightened reaction. The woman shrieks, and the shot moves sideways as she jumps in fright. When she pans back to the hallway, the figure is gone. This is either a fantastic fake or the real deal. Whether you think it's legit or not, it's probably something you wouldn't want to witness in the flesh. A YouTube channel called Mysterious Oklahoma received this video from a subscriber who claims to have kept seeing something out of the corner of their eye in one spot of their house, so they set up a camera to record. What they capture is a fast-moving creature they refer to only as the Thing, which apparently moves so fast the camera has trouble keeping up. When you pause on it, you can see a very small figure that looks to be slightly lower resolution than the rest of the video, so it might not be real. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Project Bad 720, this Redditor wrote, "We moved out of our last house because the activity was getting out of hand. Now it's acting up again." The Redditor also included that they're in West Texas. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about. There was certainly some discussion about this video in the comments. Creepy Girl Tia wrote, "Sounds like you have brought something that a spirit is attached to, that you brought to your new place, or the spirit is attached to you." And Fiery Witchburn 333 has a similar sentiment saying, "The houses aren't haunted, you are. Seek help." And the uploader responded saying, "I actually believe I am being followed, so this makes sense. Do you think that's what's going on here? Let me know in the comments." This haunted mansion isn't a Disney theme park ride. It's the real deal. On the Chills Narrator subreddit, Be More Talk submitted this freaky video in July of 2019 writing, "This video was made while it was 115 degrees out, and I say this because while we were filming, we noticed that someone was in the top floor of this 42-room mansion that was built in the 1800s. The Uplands mansion appears to be rather decrepit and is buried in nature. Lots of trees around and ivy growing up the mansion walls. Perfect scene for a ghost sighting." The video navigates the overgrown shrubbery surrounding the exterior of the mansion, some of which is covered with graffiti. At one point, as the YouTuber notes, there appears to be someone in the upper window. The YouTuber says someone keeps poking their head in and out of the window, but the visual is not clear. Whatever it is, it's enough to keep them out of that mansion, at least for now. Do you think you could stick it out in an abandoned former asylum, and what if you were being watched when you got there? Published to YouTube by This Is Dan Bell in September of 2015. This Place of Nightmares is a hauntingly beautiful house of horrors. The stone building is hidden in an overgrown woods, and naturally, Dan enters the basement first, wallpaper chipping from the wall. As he explores, Dan explains that he kept hearing noises throughout his exploration, which sounded like a person. He thinks a former patient returned to this building and was living there. Well, as a viewer, you're likely distracted by all the intricate details of this building, including its decorative tiles and molding. Its stained glass sunroof and one stairwell, its fireplaces and chandeliers. You might miss this figure in the doorway. Dan himself only noticed when safely back home, watching the video back. The point in question occurs at around 7 minutes 5 seconds, when he's turning a corner around a stairwell. There's an open door in a hallway beyond with light shining against the door, and a shadow is plainly visible. It moves as Dan turns to head up the stairs. Plenty of other strange things occurred during this visit, including Dan's battery popping, and what looked like red stains found on the tile floor in an upstairs room. That's probably the point where you should get the heck out of an abandoned building. I'm just glad Dan and his team made it out. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property, and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct, and this was an actual witch? A photographer is under a bridge when he records what he calls a strange creature. Confused, he goes over to the spot and the mysterious figure is nowhere to be found. This supposedly unexplained sighting looks pretty good at first, and had some people freaking out. With that said, once zoomed in, this video appears to be an up-close encounter of the CGI kind, because the creature's feet hardly seem to touch the ground as it walks. Though if this was real, and you saw it, what do you think you would do? This short clip captured an eerie figure in an office building at night, published by Emily Durkin in January of 2019. The lights are on in the second floor of this office building, and they're just bright enough to reveal this creepy silhouette. While the YouTuber thinks it's a ghost, the phantom is certainly a small one then. It does look like the silhouette of a human figure, but it stands very still and doesn't move from the frame of the window pane. Do you think this is a ghost? If not, what else might it be? And what the heck are they doing in this office building at night? This one left me with more questions than answers. While exploring a spooky abandoned cellar, these ghost hunters face something more fearsome than ghosts. Published by Scary Labs in August of 2021, this scary video shows the crew investigating several dark bricked rooms. The cameraman scans one room that appears to be empty, then he turns to his colleague, who is directing her camera toward another room, asking the spirits to come forward. When the spirits refuse to answer, the cameraman turns back toward the previously empty room, only it's not empty anymore. Black cloak, black hair, pale skin. What was this thing? I'm guessing Professor Snape, but the crew didn't stick around long enough to find out. A YouTuber named Skits comes across a man lying motionless in his car with the door wide open. They check his pulse, which is reasonable, but instead of calling the police or an ambulance, they decide to do him a solid and drive him home to the address on his registration. I mean, it's a nice gesture and all, but if this guy was having a serious medical problem and passes away on their watch, then I'm pretty sure they could be held responsible. Anyway, when they finally pull up to his house, they let themselves in using his keys and leave him in a safe spot. Just when they think they've done their good deed for the day, something completely unexpected happens.
Bobby?
Oh, go.
We were just out of hand. Go.
All this poor woman sees is two strangers standing in her home over someone she knows. She probably thought they were in the middle of breaking in. They run out the door, but since they came here in someone else's car, I'm not sure where they were going, but they managed to get away. I feel like this situation could have been avoided by just knocking on the door instead of going straight inside without at least announcing themselves. The whole situation borders on the edge of being implausible. Do you think it really happened? Something in the woods is about to blow this cop's mind and his eardrums. He walks back with wide eyes and puts his flashlight away, completely done with the situation until backup arrives. But backup doesn't seem to do much better. I think this could be a recording because the scream sounds exactly the same both times. So maybe somebody put a really good speaker system in the woods, or maybe that's just what I'm choosing to believe because I don't want to accept that this is real. Two friends are hanging out when one challenges the other to make a real ghost video in the closet of his haunted house to see what paranormal activity takes place. His friend only half believes him, so imagine his surprise at the scary moments caught on camera next.
I swear it's in it. It's got to be. Wait, what was that? What was that? Oh my god, what's that? What is it? It's gone.
His skepticism melts when a pale face regards them from the darkness. As they ask each other what it is, the figure moves away from them and they dare not follow. This creepy video could simply be someone shining a flashlight in their face to create the illusion of a ghost, except for one thing. There are two dark holes where the eyes should be. This looks like it could be a black-eyed ghost sighting, as they are known to follow people home after exploring the forest. But the most likely scenario is that this is just a mannequin and nothing more. Whatever it is, it's not a person, and there's just enough room for speculation to make you wonder if the scary stuff in this video is real. Only they know if this was a real ghost video or not. This dashcam video was supposedly taken near Hanoi, Vietnam, and was posted on Facebook where it spread to the local news. In it, the car soon pulls up to a figure dressed in all white standing in the middle of the road. The drivers are quite concerned that this individual is standing in the middle of a pitch black road, alone besides one street light above. They don't ask the person anything. Instead, they quickly drive away. While many online thought it was a ghost of some kind, news agencies have said that this was a woman who is not mentally well and was possibly attempting to take her own life. Let's hope she got the help she needed before it was too late. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor writes that this is the most terrified he's ever been. The scary footage shows an attic of an abandoned house under night vision. At the beginning of the clip, Connor hears a strange noise. He looks around a little and, from upstairs, captures something in the window on the ground floor. It's glowing. He decides to go investigate. Down at the window in question, there's absolutely nothing there. Nobody, no light. Next, he uses a spirit box to speak with whomever is in the home. Someone asks him to help and let him out. Another voice says to please leave. Admitting this gave him chills. Connor says this is probably the last time he'll return here. As he's walking into an adjacent room, a board is flung at him. He stops in his tracks and turns around to look around him. Nothing is there. In the comments, Connor explains, it was a rock or a brick that barely missed. It flew past the right side of my head. That's why I'm never going back there, because I feel like I could have passed away. No kidding, there's something evil in this house, and it wants you to leave. You'd best listen. A YouTube channel called The Proper People Vlogs is documenting their urban exploration trip to check out an abandoned power plant. This is the exact moment they knew they were in trouble. Tell me what you would have done in this situation. Run or stay.
There's a person. There's a person. Should we talk to them? Should we talk?
I probably would stay because running would only get you in more trouble. Anyway, at first it looks like they are trying to walk away, so I guess they were kind of panicking. But then they turn back around to have their translator talk it out rather than escape. As it turns out, this is security and they are not happy at all. Try and translate if you can, because they are about to get in so much trouble that their translator just says they should leave.
Does not seem good.
Based on what I've seen, it's a good thing that they get out of here fast, because I doubt the authorities in this country would have taken kindly to tourist trespassers. Nevertheless, I'm glad they got out of there safe. This radio DJ is live on air when all of the lights go out. Some of his equipment is still on though, so this is not a normal blackout. He is all alone and doesn't know what to do, so he calls someone for help, probably a management at home or technical support. That's when a cloaked figure passes by the window and makes him put down the phone. He creeps to the window and looks down the hall. Whoever it was is already gone. The next call he makes, I'm sure, is to the cops. According to him, this radio station has very high-tech security that requires thumbprints authorization to get in. Nobody should have been walking around after hours, especially not somebody dressed in ancient robes with their head down. While this man was checking his home CCTV at night, he captured something he didn't expect. Published by Scary Desk in November of 2021, the scary video shows the man setting up his camera and checking that it's angled well in his yard. But as he's doing so, look behind him. A creepy face peeks out from behind a bush in the background. It remains in view even as a car passes by behind it.
It was really horrifying.
The face then slowly disappears back behind the bush. A closer look shows the creature's bizarre features. While it looked human from far away, it doesn't exactly look that way close up. Is this being wearing a mask? And why is it hiding? Whatever is going on here, it seems this man set up his security cameras just in time. While out on his porch, this young man spots two green eyes peering back at him from the darkness. Published in June of 2020, Jimmy Reynolds lives near the edge of the woods, so it would be safe to assume that any number of woodland creatures are nearby. But what kind of creature is this? He approaches the eyes in the darkness, speaking out to it.
What the hell? See, there it is. Hey. Oh, what the f***? You'll see that.
But as he gets closer, it apparently runs off. Jimmy thinks it could be a cat or a dog, but people in the comments are of the opinion that it's something much larger. Some say it's a skinwalker or a crawler. Others say it could be a forest ghoul. Cat Anonymous writes, "It's probably stalking your house for food. Not sure if it eats humans. In any case, this dude better lock his doors." On the other side of this fence is nothing but miles of vast wilderness. Exactly what lurks beyond this point is anyone's guess, but apparently something huge and hostile has been regularly coming into the backyard of a YouTuber named Big Dill for some reason, possibly in search of its next meal.
But what happens is this creature comes up against this fence and it jumps this fence. And it was standing, we think, right in this where I'm standing right now.
Literally 2 seconds later, this wild and hungry howl fills the night.
I'm getting this footage. And did you hear that?
Now here's the part that's really unsettling. You probably didn't see it at first, but a pair of glowing eyes are without a doubt watching him from the trees. Maybe they were the very eyes of the beast itself, as it changes his way while making that hideous, inhuman scream. This video was taken around Halloween, when paranormal investigator and YouTuber The Fam visited the gravesite where famous rapper XXXTentacion was laid to rest. He records the glass door while paying their respects, and you can see the inside of the memorial is empty. But when they pass over the door a second time, something is very different. Look at the bottom left window or you'll miss it. What's especially crazy is how he seems to appear as soon as they leave a hat and harvest pumpkin as tribute. If this video is to be believed, then it's as if he is paying his respects to his fans from beyond the grave. There's more to this selfie than what meets the eye. Posted to TikTok, Dita and her friends pose for pictures, but someone else sneaks into the last shot. In the background, a girl is seen peering through a crack in the door. In other frames, she is not there, but then again she appears peeking around the corner. Is this just someone who wants to be included? Or is this a ghost? Phantom photobombing? This bike rider is about to get ghosted. Published by Scary Desk in February of 2022, a man on a motorbike stops in the middle of the road, and he's looking down the street at something. A pedestrian also stops nearby, and he seems to be looking at the same thing, which so far is off screen. After the pedestrian leaves, we see this. A shadow figure walks determinedly at the dude on the motorbike. As he gets closer, he disappears for a moment, but the man deliberately pushes his bike over as if to make a blockade between them and then runs off. The shadow figure suddenly reappears, and he surprisingly runs off too in the opposite direction. What is going on with this confrontation? It looks like the shadow was as afraid of the encounter as these guys were. YouTuber Don John Averon claims to have captured an unknown humanoid on tape while deep in the woods in 2016, but without more information or evidence, little can be verified in regards to this video's authenticity. But if it's real, then this chilling footage shows Don silently creeping up on an ape-like creature that has tiny legs and a hunched over upper body. The humanoid does not seem to notice him as it casually swings its massive arms while walking. It moves like a human, but apparently has giant sloth-like arms with no fingers. It retreats deeper into the forest and Don doesn't follow. This video could very well be proof that the humanoid kingdom extends into the insect world. At first glance, this video appears to be a firefly or some similar sort of bug, but when slowed down frame by frame, you can clearly see that this is not a bug at all, but rather appears to be a tiny winged humanoid. The video shows an insect-like humanoid with clearly discernible arms and legs. Unlike most bugs, this humanoid only has 4 limbs, and the arms appear to be twice as short as the legs, much like a person. There's simply no insect on Earth like it. It's just too bad the lighting conditions don't provide more detail, because it would have been interesting to see more of its face and overall color patterns. Exactly where this video was shot is not known. This 2009 video is some of the earliest and most bizarre evidence of the weird and mysterious lights at the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, which is considered a hotbed of paranormal activity all around. Perfect spheres of lights like this one often are sighted in the sky, or sometimes on the ground. Strange lights that have never been explained. The mysterious lights don't look like anything made by a person because they are almost as tall as a tree and extremely wide, much bigger than even the largest of spotlights. This next video, taken by the uploader's brother shortly after spending a day at the Skinwalker Ranch, shows an object moving on its own in their basement.
Swinging for 15 minutes now.
More unexplained lights have been haunting his basement. Did something paranormal follow them home? William Davies has been documenting all of the paranormal activity around his bedroom for quite some time. January 25th, 2014 is when he proves to himself his bedroom is haunted. First with a creepy unexpected EVP caught on tape, followed by this hands-on ghost encounter.
Stopped. Whoa, something just grabbed me then. Ooh.
6 months later, the paranormal activity is ramped up considerably. He hears noises all around his room quite often. Even during the day, it sounds like someone invisible is walking around. Objects fall off the shelf in plain sight with William Davies clearly standing a few feet away. He might have done it himself with a string, but honestly, I don't see one. Do you?
Oh, this is not normal, man.
4 months later, he notices his pantry cupboard refuses to stay closed, but only for one night.
No thanks. No.
And if you listen close, at 2 minutes and 49 seconds, you hear a woman's voice cry out right before the door opens.
I saw that.
The more he refuses to believe, the harder the ghost pushes open the door. In a small town in Texas, a church fitness class had begun one April morning in 2016. The attendees walked in only to find that someone had taken the instructor's life. 45-year-old Terry Bevers was found on the floor. There were no leads except for this security footage. You may think the person in this footage is someone here to help, but it's actually worn by whoever committed this terrible act. The culprit wore a full SWAT uniform, going room to room in the church, possibly looking for more victims. To this day, this person's identity remains a mystery. In yet another CCTV video, a ghost possesses a woman at a store in China. In the video, you see a package fall on its own accord from the third shelf. It could have just been stuff there, teetering on the edge, causing it to fall at the slightest breeze. Although it doesn't appear to be teetering, that's certainly a possibility. But what's strange is it appears to move for a moment before actually taking the leap, leading a skeptical onlooker to consider that it may also be something paranormal. What happens next will make you think the same thing. A female shopper, surprised by the sound of the package falling, turns to look. Being considerate, she walks back, picks up the package, looks at it, and sets it back on the third shelf. The shopper drops the other package she's holding, as the possession seems to take complete control over her body. With one hand on the package, her head flings back and falls forward, back and forward, back and forward, as if in seizure. She manages to pry her hand from the packaging and turns her back towards it, but her body and mind are fully possessed. The demon takes control of her until another female shopper alerts staffers for help. They are seen gathered around her, trying to subdue her, but she won't be subdued. Her body seizes suddenly again, and the camera even seizes for a moment, as the three surrounding the woman are launched back by the demon's energy. We don't know what happened to the woman, whether the demon fled her body at this moment, or if it still possesses her today. This aerial footage was broadcast live during a period of bad weather in Hebron, Ohio. Take a look at this flooded neighborhood and tell me if you see anything abnormal lurking in the dirty brown water.
Here with storm specialist Carl Parker. See if you want to stay on and have a listen. Carl's looking at
A worm-like creature appears to wind its way around a house shortly before the camera zooms out. While this could be an ordinary piece of driftwood from the way it's moving in the water, I wouldn't be surprised if the floodwaters caused some sort of giant parasite to emerge from the sewers below. A lot of people meditate to relax, but using breathing techniques to master the elements of nature is where the topic takes a strange and mysterious twist, bordering on the supernatural. The ability to manipulate one's surroundings in such a way is done using an energy called chi. This is one such practitioner, and water is his element of choice. Somehow he is able to make the liquid rise to the surface in a way that follows the energy guided by his hand. Soon he has created a bumpy surface full of individual droplets. He releases his hold, and with a wave of his hand, the water returns to normal. So this video is really mysterious. There doesn't appear to be anything in the water to make it do this. At least nothing I can see. I feel like he could have put metal shavings or something in the water, and then had someone with a magnet underneath create this effect. Can someone who knows more about science tell me if I'm on the right track? Otherwise, this is about as strange and mysterious as it gets.
And we are hurrying. Luckily, our house has sprinklers. When it was built, we've only been in this house for a week and a half, but we're getting everything that's important, and we're getting it out of here.
This scary GoPro video sounds like the final moments of a family fleeing in terror from their haunted home, but that's not what's happening. Midnight is when Tyson and Haley get a phone call that they have to evacuate fast. Not from something paranormal, but a situation just as terrifying nonetheless. Flames are tearing up the mountainside and heading towards their home. Now they have to keep their oldest son occupied and unafraid while not panicking themselves. trying their best to navigate around closed roads and other hazards. You can tell the father wants to scream, but he doesn't want to freak their kids out, so this is how he talks.
That's not good at all, huh, buddy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to go up there.
What will happen if the fire comes to our car?
We would turn around and drive away.
He's definitely a good father for not scaring his children, but the reality of the situation is, at least from what I can tell, that they are low on gas and stuck in traffic without much control over where they go next. Police are frantically trying to direct traffic and stay in communication with the fire department to guide cars away from the blazing inferno, and it isn't looking too good for them. Eventually, they break away and find a moment to collect themselves at the gas pump. As they watch the inferno in the distance, adrenaline finally wearing off, it occurs to them just how close to being goners they really were.
I've never had that feeling or adrenaline rush before. That was crazy.
I'm really glad this wasn't the family's final moments caught on GoPro, and hope they have some good memories ahead to help balance out this horrifying event. Creepy things are waiting to crawl up your wall when you live in Florida. Steve Crumbaker watches in horrified fascination as a lack of limbs does not keep this snake from ascending a brick wall with relative ease. It uses the space between the bricks to scale the wall, always searching for the next small groove to fit into. In 2 minutes, the large snake has managed to wrap itself around the windowsill and appears to lie in wait. They say in the description that it's a rat snake that's harmless to humans, and I wanted to double check if they were right, so let me know. Harmless or not, it would nevertheless provide quite a scare for anyone unfortunate enough to open a window and find one dangling in front of their face. This trail camera captures some deer grazing when one of them pauses as if something is nearby. They look directly at the camera, and in that moment, a phantom pair of eyes move in the opposite direction. I was thinking that this could be a camera glitch that somehow reflects the deer's eyes back at an angle, but the eyes can be seen briefly again at the 12-second mark, and this time it looks like the deer notices and stares directly at them with more curiosity than fear. There are also plenty of other movements where the deer is looking at the camera without the phantom eyes present, so it might not be the equipment after all. Could this be an unknown flying creature like the uploader seems to think? Some cultures believe that the forest itself develops a living spirit to watch over the creatures within, so maybe that is what we are all witnessing here. An angry poltergeist haunting this room is throwing things off the shelf.
Hey! Allah Akbar, Allah. Ini rumah aku, kalau engkau nak buat macam ni, kau ingat aku takut? Kau ingat aku takut? Allah Akbar, Allah.
But unfortunately for Arash Afnan, the paranormal activity does not end there.
Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
Looking straight at him is a mysterious figure standing in the kitchen, a shadow figure that is clearly in the shape of a person. But when he chases it into the kitchen, it's gone and the drawer where it was just standing opens all by itself. Now that's just terrifying. A ghost hunting channel in Portugal called Supernatural Persecution is attempting to solve an unexplained mystery that's been haunting locals for years. According to legend, this haunted place in the dark, creepy woods is where a bride-to-be once threw herself onto train tracks after discovering her fiancé was unfaithful. Ghost sightings have occurred ever since, and few dare to explore here because so much has already gone wrong. While walking down the long forgotten path, flanked by scary woods on both sides, they think they hear something.
Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Ai. Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Oi.
Scary voices and other weird noises from within the haunted woods. The ghost bride is near. as the ghost hunters squint into the darkness.
Leonardo Docio, olha o vulto branco lá, ó! Passando atrás de você, cara!
A mysterious figure, an apparition, crosses their path and leaves them absolutely terrified. The possible sighting of a ghost wearing a white bridal gown, while creepy, could also be someone in black clothes holding a white sheet over their head to create the illusion of a long flowing headdress. It's too far away to tell for sure. Likewise, this alleged ghost voice sounds more like one of their friends, rather than something supernatural wailing in anguish. But even though I'm not fully convinced, this paranormal evidence has thousands convinced that it's real, so maybe I'm wrong. While visiting an abandoned mental hospital in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Spirit Realm Investigations captured what they believe is an apparition on camera. Watch the bottom right window followed by the middle windows. Did you see that? Something seems to peek out and then shift between these two windows. To me, the shape in the bottom right window is convincing. It looks like a figure peeking out and then vanishing, but I think that could just be a reflection of light as the camera moves. It does seem to move in pace with the camera's movement, but the first one doesn't. That's for sure a legit apparition peering out at us. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to face off with some dark magic. As they're wandering in the darkness, they hear this witch's cries.
Soy... ¡Ah, la verga! Escucha, soy loco, o si se escuchó. ¡Ah, la verga, negro! ¡Ah, la verga! ¡Ah, la verga!
When they come upon this structure, they hear her again.
¿Ya te echaste? ¿Qué pedo, loco? Dime más para acá. Hazte para acá. Hazte para acá. Espérate, güey, es que ¿dónde fue?
And then she appears.
De que hay algo paranormal aquí, hay algo paranormal. Pero no es bueno. ¡A la verga! ¡No mames, güey!
At first, they keep their distance.
Güero, 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 güero. Alumbren allá, güey, allá está. Alumbren.
But even from a distance, it seems she's not having it.
¡Ey! ¡Ey! No mames, José, ayúdalo, güey. José, verga. Que yo traigo las cámaras, güey. Amarra aquí. ¡Ey! Espérate, loco. Eder.
They again see her in the darkness.
Se está convirtiendo en quién sabe qué verga, güey. ¡Vámonos! ¡Ah, no mames, güey! Vámonos.
After which, she flees into the night.
Allá arriba, idiota, arriba. A la verga, güey. ¿Ya se perdió?
Why did she take off? I think she got what she came for. Eder's soul. Do you believe our loved ones never leave us? Published by Seth Ponder in April of 2014. This spirit of a grandma wants a cookie. Ponder writes, Sarah was making Lois's cookies for cousin Jenny while listening to the Rat Pack, Lois's favorite, when the lights flashed many times. Lois is, I presume, Sarah's grandma who passed away. The security camera captures the activity as Sarah nonchalantly acknowledges the lights are doing it again. The couple thinks she is trying to communicate with them through the lights. Is grandma working in mysterious ways, or does this house have an electrical issue? Honestly, the first option is way better. This ghost has a lot on his mind. Published in August of 2021 by Gankwa P, this scary short video has got me freaked out. The security footage shows an alley outside a gated home in what I believe is Thailand. Soon a semi-transparent phantom shape appears. It can be seen against the darkness of the gate beyond. It moves past the gate and disappears. Is this ghost taking a nighttime stroll? Or do we need to call a medium? Believe it or not, this doll is scarier than she looks. Published by Rota X in November of 2020. They encounter this creepy doll directly upon entering, covered in red. Let's hope that's paint. And then this happens. After they're running away as fast as they can from the demon doll, they realize the presence is still with them. It makes itself known via the EMF meter. Has whatever possessed that doll latched onto them? Time to call an exorcist. A home security camera captured what appears to be paranormal activity in this haunted home. Published by Britwheel88 in March of 2011. The footage shows a woman leaving a bedroom. She is holding a camera. I'm not sure what the context is. She then returns and is standing in the doorway with one hand on the door. Suddenly, the door jerks slightly more open, pulling toward the wall and scaring the woman out of the room. Is someone hiding on the other side of the door? Or is the paranormal playing around? Either way, I don't think something is right in this house. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? Published in July of 2010, the so-called extraterrestrial sighting was captured at 4:45 in the morning in Grass Valley, California. The YouTuber writes, Albie and I went to investigate what I thought was an animal in the parking lot of the office. I heard a sound that I cannot describe. This is what they saw.
Dude, what the f is that? Dude, look through the night vision. Look on the screen.
The YouTuber explains that when he was pulling in, he saw something strange with the lights on. He assumed it was a maintenance person, but went to investigate after hearing the sound. You can see the light he's talking about at a distance. They follow a road to where he thinks he earlier saw the light. He sets the camera down and zooms in. An unusual flickering light flashes across the screen. It then flashes in the other direction, and this time an attached figure is clearly running. The flickering figure pauses for a moment, and they ask who it is.
Look on the screen. What is that? Hello? Hey, who is that?
He looks like he's glitching out. A moment later, he runs off again, and a strange screech is heard.
This tripping me out, dude.
Is this an extraterrestrial, or is this some other supernatural creature of our own world? A flying ghost has been caught on home CCTV video. Claims a man in India who uploaded this bizarre late-night sighting. A pure white object briefly pokes out of the woods. The supposed ghost video is low resolution and could be almost anything from a flashlight to wildlife. It looks weird, but I'm not exactly convinced he didn't just throw something himself. A Miami woman was fast asleep on her couch when an unusually creepy-looking woman decides to enter her home, captured on the homeowner's Canary home security system. This stranger was filmed the entire time she rummaged through this house. Even more odd is how this woman hovers over the homeowner on the couch, watching her sleep. I originally thought this video was fake because the stranger looks like the possessed girl in your typical scary movie, but the incident is 100% real and most likely wouldn't be believed without this footage. This individual was never caught or identified. A YouTuber named MBJ Reports has a pest in his yard that has been bothering his dogs, so he decides to stick a garden hose down into the ground and flood it out of its den. Now they are waiting with a net to catch the pest and dispose of it if necessary. It isn't long before he sees two glowing eyes appear out of a second hole in the distance. This appears to be no ordinary pest, but rather a monster instead.
It's something. I don't know what that is.
It remains frozen in the beam of the flashlight for a while, hoping that he will leave it alone. Then the creature drops back into the ground below with a shriek. MBJ Report has had enough and decides to pull the creature up by its tail. He pulls back a red hand with a deep cut, which I unfortunately can't show here, and the video ends. I notice that the creature doesn't really move its limbs at all, and possibly looks like a toy, though I can be wrong. Even still, that doesn't explain the glowing red eyes though. So if you think you can tell if this is fake or real, then be sure to tell me how you know. In this video, two planes appear to be carelessly flying way too close to each other for almost a full minute, and I don't know why. I can't believe this would be planned, but at the same time I can't believe none of the passengers on a commercial airliner are screaming if this is happening. I've never flown a plane before, but I know that you're way too close when you can see what color shirt the pilot of the other plane is wearing. Someone tell me what's going on here, because it looks like total chaos in my opinion, but also possibly planned, like maybe a formation for an air show or something. A strange creature sighting in Russia on a store camera is about as creepy and mysterious as it gets. Two people are standing outside late at night, and all of a sudden one of them is dumped on the ground. You can see something invade his space. At 12 seconds just before he falls, the other man tries to help but is of little use. Whatever has a hold on his friend is too strong, and so he runs back into the store. At 21 seconds, something briefly appears to hover over the poor man. A strange creature with little shape, perhaps paranormal, and he is pulled off camera. After 10 seconds, it looks like the creature has left, and so the second man goes to check on his friend. At 42 seconds, something invisible splashes a puddle in front of him, and his friend is flung through the entrance. Low quality CCTV videos are pretty easy to edit, so this video might be a fake. What do you think? Why won't the ghost of this house cross over? YouTuber Eugene from Dark Mystic is here to find out. One of his Steadicams first observes the presence of something here. Soon Eugene hears it himself. Another Steadicam captures mysterious noises in another room, and it appears that something is moving. Later, that something falls to the floor. In that same room, a shadow shifts across the back hallway. Eugene is then given orders by the resident ghost.
Malshi. Nyari.
Eugene doesn't seem to be taking the spirits seriously, but I wouldn't be able to keep quiet either. I'd definitely scream. Why do ghosts stick around hotels? Did they pass away here? Or did they so enjoy their stay that they want a very late checkout? YouTubers Mackie and Amanda explore the haunted Hotel Figueroa in this scary video to find out. As they're chatting in one of the haunted rooms, they hear a loud, unexplained noise.
And that's part of why it freaked me. What the f was that? I don't know. That sounded like it was right in front of us.
They start to get everything set up, and their REM pod goes mad.
Can you step away from that device?
Oh, there it goes again.
While working with other devices, they hear some strange murmuring in the background.
Wait, turn it off. I get that. Battery.
Then, while using the flashlights to communicate, they receive a verbal communication.
2, 1.
Later, while doing the Estes method, you can hear literal taps.
Spanish.
And another unexplained noise is heard.
Who made that loud noise in Mackie's headphones?
And even more unexplained breathing.
What were you hosting? Oh wait, sorry, they're a little long.
And once more,
Piano music. So you didn't actually know Amanda in high school?
I don't know what is breathing in this room with them, but I'm sure it's not meant to be there. Considering this hotel's reputation, I wouldn't be surprised if it was evil. According to YouTuber Steve Ronan, this mansion used to be a hideout of an individual who ended many lives, but Steve discovered it wasn't empty. While he's in the cellar, he has a bit of a surprise.
It's a tiny, like, little cellar. That's creepy. Oh my! I can see a mouse right there just staring at me.
As he's continuing to search the place, he wonders if someone's living here.
Kind of looks like this is being used, too. It's a dead cockroach on the floor. That's pretty nasty.
Soon they realize they shouldn't be here.
Okay, we should get out soon.
And this confirms it.
This is getting creepy now. This might be lab. That's what we're thinking.
And now it's time to leave.
Yeah. This was a famous artist's house.
I think a gang is using this. Let's get out.
This exploration just kept going from bad to worse. I probably would have left the minute I found out it was once the hideout of a very evil person. The team from YouTube channel Paranormal Nightmare TV series encounters demons in this haunted house. As one of the home's residents gives the team a tour, she expresses surprise at the silence, and the spirits respond in kind.
You know it's here, but it's like, it's quiet, because usually you'll hear like a little bit banging or something like that, but there you go.
The team conducts a spirit session in the house, and they tell the spirit to leave.
They don't want you here. Say, oh my gosh.
He then hears a noise which is not entirely captured by the audio.
It sounds like a door or somebody walking on wood, kind of. Explain it. So where is silent?
A moment later, the audio does capture this.
Okay. Alright. Yep. I can't do this, please.
Sean leaves the house and it sits empty for 10 minutes. That's when the Steadicam captures this. And this. And also this. What happened there? Was that paranormal activity? I think the spirits in the house are taunting the crew, just as they do the homeowners. But the real question is why? What are they here for? And what will it take for them to leave? EVPs were captured through a live radio during a live stream by YouTube team Ghost Adventures of Cornwall, and these things are eerie.
Safe. Who's not laughing? Where are you? I'm laughing again.
Who are you?
First the word heaven is heard, then the laughter. A moment later it says the words proper demon.
Was that you? Proper demon? What?
But here's where it gets truly creepy.
The skin. Your eyes.
Skin and the nails? What?
Skin and nails? Does this demon of Cornwall want your skin and nails? I think it does, and it might be taking your soul with them. Recorded from Haunted Room 405 in San Antonio's Emily Morgan Hotel, this phantom is reflected. Watch the bottom right corner of the mirror. A misty shape appears there for a moment before the camera turns right. Watch again. Did you see that? Well, this could simply be the change in light as the camera shifts. I want to believe. Do you? Imagine playing hide and seek with a mysterious cult. Published by Lego Papa TV in March of 2020. This scary video shows a cultish encounter at a house where lives were taken. Lego arrives at the house that he plans to explore on this fateful night. It looks 100% haunted. He tours the house, arriving at a bathroom in which he says the 71-year-old woman who lived here would take the lives of her victims. He says she buried them in her backyard. As he's about to head upstairs, he hears something, but he assumes it was just animals.
That's not something. Probably animals because I saw a poop here.
Once he gets up there, though, he hears more noise.
Hello?
While using the spirit box on his phone to try and communicate with the passed away in the bathroom, he sees a flashlight beam hit the wall. When he turns around, he sees many beams of light, and he thinks it could be police, other urban explorers, or maybe something even more nefarious. So he rushes upstairs and hides in another bathroom. Shortly after, he sees flashlight beams on the wall and hears footsteps. They apparently don't see him. After waiting in the darkness for a time, he sneaks downstairs, and while in the basement, he hears more evidence that he's not alone in the house. Footsteps sound on the floor above. He gets out of there as quickly as possible and does manage to escape. When finally safely outside, he turns back to look at the house. They are looking for him, whoever they are. Lego writes, "This is probably the scariest moment of my life. I have no doubt about that." These witches either have supernatural powers or have been practicing their parkour. Watch this video from the Paranormal Collective.
Eras una blanca con negro, compa. Mira. ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ahí viene! ¡Ay, güey! ¡No manches!
After the first witch jumps, she's followed by at least one other who's waiting in the wings.
¡Vamos! ¡Esta bruja vuela, compa! ¡Esta bruja vuela, ne! ¡Ahí viene! ¡Mira, la otra va a volar! ¡Ahí viene, pedazo, güey! ¡Ahí viene! ¡Mira, va a volar la otra! Amigos, esta bruja vuela, compa! ¡Ahí viene el payaso!
Well, I'd love to imagine these witches parkouring around the city. I think this is just your run-of-the-mill dark magic. Seen at a distance, TikToker Jen Us 58 is wondering, what is that? Let's take a look. The figure appears to be running in the beginning and then, mysteriously, stands frozen still. When the driver flashes its lights, the figure starts running again. He gets closer and finds that the figure appears headless. It then disappears into the darkness. But when he returns to his car, he turns to find the ghost has reappeared. So was it a ghost or something else? Well, I'm pondering that question. Most in the comments are wondering why the guy even got out of his car. In the basement of an old house, the ghosts of some missing girls visit YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life. First, he hears light tapping from the next room. But as he gets closer to the wardrobe, this happens. Have the missing girls been found? I think their spirits have, and it seems they have a story to tell. What spirit lurks on the 17th floor of this office building? YouTuber Billy Turner shares this spooky video, noting that the 17th floor has been out of use for more than a year.
Peep out this door open. Oh, mind you, this is the 17th floor that hasn't been used in over a year and a half. Yeah. I know you wonder what opened those doors.
Billy notes that before the doors open, something also appears to move in the hallway.
Let's see if we can bring it back and see now again. Okay, now there's no motion detected. There's something moving right here that you peep and see in the video a little bit. But peep the elevator though. Mind you, this 17th floor, nobody uses this floor.
And the elevator doors open and shut, like someone just got off the elevator.
Something gets off the elevator, and there's a motion detectors there. And there go the doors again. How did that happen? Because we have Ghost, 59 Maiden Lane.
If it had just been the doors opening, I think this could be explained, but the whole sequence, the elevator, the movement, and the doors opening, convinces me that someone unseen just got off on this floor and went about their business. Wicked. YouTuber Franco TV sets out in this haunted graveyard to hunt down the witch's tomb. As he searches for it, he arrives at an abandoned part of the mausoleum.
I heard something move over here. I'm now getting closer to more of the abandoned area here.
He notices cobweb-covered straw wrapped around the gates.
Look how old these things are. So much cobwebs on them.
I'm not sure if this is ritualistic or not, but it's somehow very creepy. From one deep crypt, Franco hears whispering.
Listen. Now you're whispering.
At another, he finds a bag of black candles abandoned outside of the gate, along with what looks like a voodoo doll, and some photographs with writing on them.
Inside the bag. These are the pictures. Either somebody wants something bad to happen to them, there's writing on it too.
Does someone want something bad to happen to these women? This stuff gets even creepier.
And each mannequin doll has a picture of someone's face strapped to the face of it.
As he continues to examine the creepy findings, he hears a voice.
I heard someone.
Is someone else visiting this graveyard in the middle of the night? It sure seems like it.
Right over there.
Someone's with a sign.
Later, when he captures footage of a tomb, we can see what looks like a full-body apparition.
Right in there.
As Franco continues to identify creepy ritualistic items, he hears a man singing.
And then up there is something else. I don't know what that is.
We hear voices.
Someone's singing.
He arrives at the witch's tomb and immediately hears something.
There she is.
What?
He spots a face briefly in the dark doorway, but it retreats.
See, I could probably get some stock footage from it or something. What is that?
Did you see that?
Some stock footage from it or something. What was that?
Is the witch hiding from Franco, or is this one of the cemetery's many dark magic victims? I have no doubt that this place is haunted by many damaged souls, and it seems to continue to be a frequented site of dark magic witches as well. Franco had better hope he didn't get any of their magic on him. Some sad souls are still locked up in Old Williams County Jail. YouTube team Ghost Bros teams up with spirit stalkers to investigate the abandoned jail in Bryan, Ohio. In the interrogation room, the team uses a spirit box to interrogate the spirits. A little later, the spirits show that they are watching them.
Six, yeah.
6 what?
The 6 of us.
Then this alarming exchange occurs.
We're gonna go to the gear room.
Come on.
Come on!
No, I heard Armand, dude.
How do you know his name?
I introduced myself.
What he say?
He said he said it. I said, how do you know his name? He said he said it. He said he said it, dude. Yeah.
A recording device also captures some welcoming voices.
Whoa, what the was that? Whoa, what? I said, come here. I said, come here. Jump.
The K2 lights up upon request.
If you're here with me, can you light this up again?
During an S-Day session, the spirit starts playing around with them.
Can you tell us your name or one of our names? Let us know you're listening to us.
It just said my name. Jake.
Can you please, at some point throughout the night,
Scream.
It even seems to be directly ordering them around.
Guys, the cell. Come. I just said take it or Jacob. Jake. It just said Jake right after those.
Dude, there's intelligent. It's saying right now he's telling me the
Yeah. Look at me.
just
We hunt.
Even after passing, those who are locked up here hunt us. Can you feel the evil on you? Because I can. Some jinn like to cause chaos. Others apparently like to chill. YouTuber Aciduology shares footage of this one, who seems to be of the latter category. I was unable to track down the original source of this video. The jinn sits in a corner smiling, if you can call it a smile. Many in the comments think this is a man in a gorilla suit, but I think it's an exhausted jinn. Look at that face. You can tell he's tired from all the mayhem he's caused. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Altruistic Shoe 2593. He titled this video, Strange Object Above the Sky. Let's watch.
Oh dear. I just saw something on top right there.
What's that?
I can certainly see what he's talking about, but the question remains, what is this thing? Let me know what you think it is in the comments. What's being captured here, if it's genuine, would represent one of the most compelling pieces of paranormal footage to surface recently. The way the figure appears almost transparent against the background is either a strong indicator of something paranormal or a very deliberate camera trick. Ghost footage has been a staple of paranormal content for decades, but every now and then something surfaces that feels different from the usual fare. This might be one of those cases. There's no obvious evidence of digital manipulation here, but absence of evidence isn't the same as proof. This one is going to come down to your personal threshold for belief. So does this look real to you, or does something feel staged? Tell me what you see in the comments below. Dennis from YouTube channel Dark Ghost Paranormal is the only human in a house of demons. How will he fare? Well, we're about to find out. As Dennis speaks with the spirits through a device, he notices time is going at warped speed. Later, he captures this poltergeist activity as it unfolds. Is the demon going to play him in a game of chess? It certainly seems like it. As things intensify, Dennis pulls out all the stops, visiting the home cellar, and he'll soon regret it. Back upstairs, the demon house isn't getting any quieter. Is this the end for Dennis? I think he should probably leave while he still can. This now abandoned estate is a remnant of the Russian Empire, and it's believed to be haunted. YouTuber Dmitry Blackdad attempts to spend the night here. Will he make it out alive?
Все очень плохо по ощущениям, потому что я чувствую, что у меня очень сердце болит. Без всяких приколов.
He feels sick already upon entering. It seems that something evil lies within.
Без всяких шуток, ребят. Без всякого преувеличения. У меня сейчас мандраж идет.
His fear escalates from there.
Что за звук сейчас был?
Although Dmitry doesn't see anything jump scary, you can feel his fear within you as he walks this historic estate.
Не обращайте внимания на то, как я дышу. Потому что мне тяжело дышать.
I can barely breathe too. This is one terrifying tour I wouldn't want to take alone in the dark. There are more scary videos waiting for you. Check out this next compilation, or dive into a full playlist if you think you can handle it.